Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. How we doing, guys?
Good. I got my old banker look going on.
I was just going to say that. I said Wall Street Shannon over here today.
That's what they call me.
There's only one human on this planet more self-absorbed than this guy.
Who is that?
That's Odell Beckham Jr. We're about to talk about it. You rival Odell.
No.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Like this, you want a long? I give you a
my monitor is on. Could somebody turn that off?
No, don't turn it off. No,
Did you do that?
Shannon probably did it.
Let him see old Shay.
Yeah. I don't want to see old me. You see, I'm not self-absorbed.
Well, you look nice too.
Oh, thank you, Jenny.
I know you don't be. I know you don't be. I know you don't. I
don't know. Okay.
I mean, Jenny, you say the darndest things.
Once in a while. We have a lot to get to on today's show. Like this, does Tom Brady have a future as a comedian? I love what he said yesterday.
Yes.
And then will we see a new LeBron next year? But we are going to start with Shannon's new guy, I guess, Odell Beckham. He was introduced as a member of the Cleveland Browns yesterday, but he didn't come alone. Beckham was joined by Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett, and his former LSU teammate, Jarvis Landry. Beckham said the blockbuster trade that brought him to Cleveland is, quote, going to be one of the best things that has ever happened to him. All parties involved seem very happy to have OBJ in Cleveland. Let's take a listen.
I feel like we spoke this into existence almost. Like him and I dreamed of this. You know, this is something we talked about at 17.
I had two people at the house sitting there when I found out. I just started screaming, just yelling like you would have thought I was on the field on game day. Just exciting, you know what? Because it's the potential. It's knowing exactly who he is and knowing what type of guy he is.
Right now, we're just a bunch of good individual players. All right? Yeah, our roster looks great on paper. Whoop-de-hell. All right? But at the end of the day, we better be a good team. And you start building that during this time of the year.
I think this moment is going to be more iconic than we all realize right now. You know, that's what we'd want the goal to be. You know, to look back in 10 years and be like, man, I remember just today, April 1st, 2019, like the start of something great. You know, and I'm just happy to be a part of that.
All right, Shannon, Odell called it an iconic moment. Did you like that?
No, it was not iconic. And to go back to Freddie Kitchens, Skip, it's not whoop-de-hell, it's whoop-de-doo.
I liked it.
He changed it.
Yeah, he did.
I think that might be in Alabama.
You might be right, Skip.
Yeah.
Skip, look, here's the thing. From a perspective, iconic, it needs to be, oh my goodness, he used the word iconic.
Yeah.
The 1967 summit in Cleveland was an iconic moment.
Thank you. Explain what it was.
That was when Jim Brown and some of the foremost black athletes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
yes,
Jim Brown, who else was there?
They rallied for Muhammad Ali.
Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
That was to show support for Muhammad.
That was definitely iconic.
Okay.
That was all-time iconic.
If you want to do press conferences, Skip, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, will someone remember anything they said? I'll give you some iconic press conferences. Jim Moore Sr. Playoffs? I just hope we can win playoffs.
I don't think it was iconic. It was just memorable.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, Denny Greens. That's
memorable.
Skip, you remember what he said and you still laugh. You getting together with your teammates and Freddie Kitchens and up there, you talk about, well, I'm glad this happened, blah, blah, blah. Skip, there's nothing iconic about this. Nobody's going to remember this. You go out there and says, I guarantee you, next year we're going to be Super Bowl champs. And you make that come to fruition. Now you're talking about, man, you remember April 1st? You remember what Odell said? Odell said this moment was going to happen. He spoke about this moment, and it's happening before our very eyes. But for you to get up there and say, hey, I'm happy to be here, blah, blah, blah. Come on, Skip. And talking about he spoke this into existence. No, you didn't. What you and Jarvis spoke into existence were you guys playing in the National Football League. Because there have been so many guys. Victor Cruz said he spoke to Odell. And Odell was like surprised. He was shocked that it happened, and he was even more shocked that he didn't have more say into where he was going, Skip. So you spoke this into existence? You're disappointed, Odell, because normally people of this talent, Skip, you don't get shocked very easily.
Nope.
And it does something to you. I don't care what anybody tells you. Trust me, when you're that caliber, and a team says, you know what? Yeah, you are immensely talented, but we tired. We gonna move on. So I wish him the best. Hopefully he gets into this situation. He's gonna have to learn a new offense because all those catches and that great career that he had going in the Giants.
Yep.
That's not gonna help Cleveland.
Nope.
You got to go there and show up and show out and to show them why Cleveland made this move. So there's nothing about this press conference that was iconic. There's nothing I'm going to remember about it. I just remember Odell had a press conference on April 1st, and it was about him and 3 of his teammates was up there. Myles Garrett looking around like, hell, I play defense. Why the hell am I up here?
That's a very good question.
And, and Baker Mayfield like, man, I was studying tape.
Yep.
I'm getting ready to, light the league up. I'm about to win this division. Why am I here? Jarvis was the only one really that seemed excited about being there.
Okay. I agree with every point you made, and I'm going to make several more and go deeper into this because in all my years of watching press conferences, this one is memorable, maybe for the wrong reasons, and I hope it's not for the wrong reasons, but it was more ironic than iconic to me.
Okay.
It has the potential to be one of the all-time April Fool's jokes that you will remember.
Wow.
Hope I'm wrong about that because I got excited by it, but in the end, it's very hard to trust it because all I know for a fact is this team and those guys, they are now the center of the NFL universe.
Yes.
The media universe is going to revolve around those guys next year.
Yep.
I just said a mouthful, which I can't believe I'm saying. But this has become the dream team, literally, because all I heard from all of them was dream, right? I heard Odell saying he dreamed of playing with Jarvis. I heard Jarvis saying he dreamed of playing with Odell in the National Football League. I heard Baker say he dreamed of playing with Odell, and I did not know this, but they had become pretty good friends here in Los Angeles through Sterling Shepard, who was obviously Odell's teammate in New York, that was Baker's teammate at University of Oklahoma. So they clicked and connected here in L.A., have worked out together, have thrown together in the off seasons, and then Odell saying that he and Baker tried to speak this into existence, to borrow, I think it came from LeVar Ball, right?
Right.
That they tried to speak it into existence. And then Jarvis saying that he cried to everybody when it happened. He called John Dorsey and he cried. He called Freddie Kitchens and he cried. And I'm crying over all this. It's like, what? And I just hope that Freddie Kitchens isn't crying in like November, right?
Exactly.
Saying, what did you wrought? Like how can I cope with all this? So here's what's weird to me about Odell Beckham Jr. He can be, as I just mentioned earlier, so self-absorbed. It's like the universe in his mind revolves only around Odell, yet he will not do a media session alone. And I don't get that. It doesn't go together because it shows levels of humility and also of insecurity. It does. He's got like insecurity because, remember, he sat down with Josina Anderson for ESPN only because he was told Lil Wayne would be there.
Right.
Lil Wayne was not even told that Odell would be there. So Wayne goes thinking, Josina just wants to interview me at a restaurant some afternoon in New York City.
And I'm going to be talking about Odell.
Yes, and I'll be, maybe.
Right.
Because they're both from
Louisiana.
New Orleans. So Wayne shows up, and he's shocked that Odell's there. Odell's not shocked because he knew that Wayne was going to be there. He needed somebody to sit at his left hand, I guess, in that case, or was it right? Yeah, left hand, and kind of support him, kind of like reinforce what he's talking about.
It's going to be
right?
okay.
It's going to be okay. And I guess Odell needed that yesterday. Obviously, his soulmate from way back in.
Like I said, if Jarvis
that
there,
works.
I got no problem with that.
I'm good. But then he's talking about how this iconic moment is all it's all off legendary stuff that Jarvis inspired him to be. Legendary. So he's calling what he did in New York legendary. And I'm having a problem with that because what exactly was legendary about what happened with the Giants?
The catch is
The first catch, the pregame catches.
What about the titles? What are those at, Skip?
Okay, so he played in 5 years. He played in one playoff game, and we know what he did before that playoff game.
Okay.
He led, quote unquote, some receivers to Miami for the boat trip,
know
right?
that.
Okay.
That's an iconic moment,
Okay,
Skip.
that was an iconic
picture.
moment. That was iconic. and that was how he prepped for his first playoff game on the frozen tundra at Lambeau.
Yeah.
And in that game, he dropped an early third down pass, 3rd and 7 from Eli that hit him right in the hands. And then he dropped a later pass in his hands in the back of the end zone.
Correct.
And they lost 38-13. That's his one and only playoff game. So he did legendary stuff in New York. I don't know. And I kept seeing this. All I care about is winning. Baker said all he cares about is winning.
Yep.
Jarvis said he cares only about winning, and he will change our locker room. He will lead our locker room. He will push, he said, the room. He'll push the room to South Beach for to get ready for a playoff game. I don't know. I didn't see leadership. Help me out.
I Skip, I didn't see leadership either, and I forget who it was that said he could be a great leader going into last year. He could be one of the great Giant leaders of all time. I forget who said that.
Yeah, several Giants said that, but ex-Giants said that.
And
like DRC said that, I think.
But Skip, what I'm trying to figure out is that legendary. What was accomplished?
I don't know.
Normally, you have to win a championship or get the team to the playoffs consistently. You know, there are guys like, let's take the Bills, Skip. They went to 4 Super Bowls. They didn't win any. But what Thurman Thomas and what Bruce Smith and Jim Kelly, what those guys did was legendary because nobody else had ever gone to. I don't believe anybody will ever do that again, Skip. I don't believe anybody will ever go to 4 straight Super Bowls, let alone win or lose. I don't believe that'll happen. But, bro, you there for 5 years. You have one playoff appearance, and you said it was legendary. Maybe you made some catches that people like, oh, my goodness. But the greatest catch you ever made, your team got the brakes beat off of you.
By the Dallas Cowboys.
So I'm confused. Skip, I got no problem. Once you said what he said about this iconic, you set that aside. I like the fact that he understands that there's expectations, that this is not the same mom and pop's Cleveland Browns for the last 20 years. You are expected to contend for the AFC North title. You're expected to make the playoffs. You're expected to go far. You have everything. You have all the ingredients. It's up to Freddie Kitchens to put this together and make a very palatable dish. That's his job. Kitchens, that's what you do in the kitchen. You make good stuff. So I'm counting on Freddie. I'm counting on him.
And I did like the only wisdom, the only sort of grounded rationale in the whole session was what came from Freddie before. He talked to the media before these guys assembled. And he used the whoop-de-hell quote, which was good because he said, we're just a bunch of individual stars on paper. We have a great roster on paper, but now you have to figure out how to win as a team. Well, that's smart.
Well, Freddie, I ain't trying to hear that from you, Freddie. Because you remember last week when they were I think they were in Arizona at the owners' meetings, and when they was passing all this, and Freddie's like, woo, what's the expectation? Shouldn't we have more expectation to be at 8-7? The New England Patriots, their expectation is to get the Super Bowl. Now all of a sudden you want to downplay it and talk about whoop-de-hell? Oh, no, Freddie, I'm not finna let you off the hook like that. I need you to deliver.
Well, I think he's saying that we need to deliver, is that we need to come together as a football team.
Own up to it. Tell him we got a monster over here.
Okay. He also noted that when asked about will Odell be here for the start of OTAs, and he said, no, he's got some loose ends to tie up, so I'm not sure I expect.
What loose ends?
Aha! Here we go. It's already started.
Loose ends
in New York. Loose ends on a Drake tour? I don't know.
First of all, you are a football player
Yep.
that changed teams, that has a new coach. So in other words, you're allowed 3 mini camps.
Okay.
They're started already. What loose ends do you need to tie up? You see? All of a sudden, something is more important. What?
Yep.
I mean, you moving? I mean, bro, come on. Man, these new age guys, Skip. But I don't fault them. I fault us. We've allowed it.
Okay.
Teams have allowed them to do certain things. Oh, tie up some loose ends. Hey, all that money you got, you pay somebody to go do it to tie that up for you. You pay somebody to move you.
Yeah. I think he's got some money.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Skip. I mean, you want to get off of You said you're in a new locker room. You said, because I know how, look, Jarvis can say all that. Jarvis knows him personally. But I know how a lot of other guys look at Odell in the locker room. They look at him as selfish. They look at him as a standalone because that's what they saw in the Giants.
agree.
Now, hold on. We're here. We got a new coach, new system. We're here, Skip. Why does Odell got to tie up loose ends? So what the hell were you doing for your season ended the first week of January?
Yep.
So what were you doing?
know.
And 21 days later, you just, I think, was 3 weeks. So you've been traded for 3 weeks.
I'm going to translate that into Odell's
No,
already made it clear, like I don't do OTAs. Thank you very much.
I'm good.
Yep, I'm good. So do I think Baker Mayfield can handle all this star power around? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because he's done this before, and he's just, no moment is going to be too big for Baker
Right.
Mayfield. So he said when he got the call, he screamed and yelled like he does after touchdowns on the field. And he said there were 2 people at my house at that time, and they thought I'd just like lost it. But he kept saying it's surreal, which is the word several of them used, like, I can't believe this is happening. And I think Odell thinks it's still, or as they call him, O, they all refer to him as O. I think O still thinks it's all surreal. Like, I don't think it's really hit him. He's in Cleveland, Ohio.
Exactly.
That is correct. It won't hit him until really September when he walks on that field. Nothing wrong with that field, but it's still in Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
He's not in New York City anymore.
I tell you
right?
what, I'm tell you when Baker gonna scream again.
Yep.
When he don't throw Odell the ball and Odell start acting a fool on the sideline,
Okay,
he's
well-
gonna like, I can't believe John Dorsey, you got me this guy.
So I wasn't buying Baker's line, which was a good one, but he said they're team-oriented about Jarvis and Odell. They want to win. Not sure about Odell there. He says, I'll probably just close my eyes and throw it and hope one of them catches it. Well, that may be the best strategy, between those two. I'll just throw it up between them, and whoever goes and gets it, and then they can't come back to me and say, throw me the football.
Right.
Well, I threw it to both of you.
Well, for me, Skip, I don't care what anybody says, all that acting on the sideline, all that yelling and screaming. That doesn't prove to me you want to win any more than anyone else. So whether it was T.O. doing it, whether it was Dez Bryant doing it, or whether it's Tom Brady doing it, I don't want to hear that, they just want to win. They want to win so bad. Yeah, I wanted to win too, but I acted accordingly.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
So you never screamed and yelled?
No. But what?
Okay.
Never.
Well, what was that going to do?
To each his own.
What was that going to do? I just want to know what was yelling and screaming going to do.
Well,
boy, Shannon, man, the other team looking, ooh, Shannon, man, we in trouble now, guys. Shannon upset. Something bad about to happen to us.
Shannon was not the quarterback. Tom Brady's the quarterback. And when they see Psycho Tom come out, they know they're good.
But I feel like you were a presence either way. You didn't
You
have
know
to
what,
yell.
Skip Bayless? You always no. I'm not going to let you get off the hook because see what they do. See, Jenny, what we've learned to accept is that when a receiver, be it Odell or be it Dez Bryant or AB, when they do that, that's a malcontent. They're being destructive. But when a white player, mainly a quarterback, that's passion. You see how he's rallying his team. No, he's not. Stop it. I would go to him and shake him. Stop it right now.
Tell me the last quarterback that you know who ran to the end zone and helmet butted with a receiver who just caught a touchdown pass from him.
But you got to realize,
Okay, that's who he is. That's what he does.
No,
That's what Tom
no.
Brady does, black, white, green, or red.
But
That's
for-
just who he is.
But for me, Skip, when I played, the quarterback wasn't running. Normally, the defender had just put his helmet up under his chin, and so the lineman had to help him up to get up off the field. They ain't had none of this old two-hand stuff,
Okay.
so two-hand
All right.
touch, so he could run down the field.
Okay, but Tom Brady played in that era too. In his early years, they were still knocking quarterbacks on their butts.
They've been changed. That now the rule, you can't touch him, you can't touch the receiver. It's it's a shame, Skip. It really is a shame.
Okay. Well, it's a shame that you can't see that Tom Brady is 1,000% real. It's not like put on, right? And it's not a team distraction when he goes off the way he does.
I just wish Odell and the Cleveland Browns the best of luck. I just need them to win the AFC North so I can win my cases of due and I can get right back in this thing like I said I would.
Like you said you would, and
Yeah.
you won't. Okay, the final note from this press conference that was completely bizarre to me is that when they were talking about how Baker already knows Odell and that they connected in L.A., and Jarvis pipes up and says, yeah, they danced together. And I'm like, what? They danced together? And then Odell pipes up and says, yeah, dancing together. Now I've got somebody who's going to show me up dancing, so I've got to get my moves right. They're dancing together on a dance floor? Or
You know,
I don't,
well, yeah,
club, are they,
I guess
are
they
the
go
two
to
of them
the-
dancing
I love
together?
that.
Well, not
maybe,
Cool.
maybe.
I think what they mean, Skip, they was on the floor simultaneous. You know, Odell doing his thing,
know.
Baker doing his
Baker
thing.
does dance a lot, though.
He dances a lot, but I could see the two of them dancing together on the dance floor and not be threatened by it at all. Like they don't care what.
Hey,
what
I
the
don't care nothing about no dancing.
Okay.
Chemistry.
I just
Okay, it is.
all I want to see is Odell dancing in the end zone. Is he gonna be dancing in the end zone? That's what I need to know. If he dances in the end zone, I need it a lot.
Well, I need him to celebrate in the end zone short of peeing to mark his territory. If he just
we don't
doesn't
want
do that,
that.
we'll be okay, right?
Yeah. Well, as long as he don't get a flag, get a
Yep.
penalty, and have him kicking from the 5-yard line, we'll be
know.
just fine.
You know
But
what? I want this to work because this would be sensational. It'd be
100%.
fun to talk about. There's just something underlying it that's not trustable. That's how I am.
it's Cleveland,
Right?
though.
It's Cleveland.
Like you want it to work
Yes,
for
you
Cleveland.
want it to work for Cleveland and for
the
everybody.
storylines, for everyone, for us.
I'm selfish. I want it to work for me because I want to win these cases of due.
That's all
Okay.
it comes down to for him.
I don't know what cases you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Because I got them to beat the Steelers. You
I
got
did not
the Steelers.
bet any due on that.
Oh, so
I would
you-
never bet against Baker Mayfield. I got all kinds on
But
Cowboys.
But you got what you call him? Oh, Big Ben. He's going to
You
have an
did pick
MVP.
Big Ben,
yeah.
no?
I
That
did,
wasn't
but I didn't
official?
bet any cases due.
Are
I
you
don't-
sure?
I don't bet against Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield. You just asked me, Jenny asked me, who's the better team? Well, Pittsburgh right now, on paper, whoop-de hell. But whoop-de hell on paper, they look a little better.
Okay, well, then take him.
Okay, I told you, I think they're going to win one more game than the Browns.
Okay, well, that's worth the case
I
to do.
said 10-6 versus 9-7, and there's no way I'm betting against Baker Mayfield.
Well, you are.
You know what? It's fraudulent that you are now on the Baker bandwagon. It's just completely fraudulent.
Hold on, first
It
of all-
is. It's wrong.
Jenny.
We
It's
haven't
wrong.
forgotten how you
Jen-
And
started.
I
hold on.
also think there's some attempted jinxing going on
No.
here. Yes, he's trying to drive the Baker bandwagon over the cliff.
No, I'm trying. Hold on. Help me understand this.
Am I right?
You said.
think I got that right.
No, you said you're not one to bet against Baker Mayfield.
I just wouldn't.
But
I
you
never
said
would.
the Steelers are going to have 10 wins and the Browns will have 9 wins. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not good at math, but I kind of think you bet against Baker.
I did not. I said they could both make the playoffs. They can make the playoffs.
No,
at
no, no,
9-7.
no, no.
Yeah.
Division.
Yeah.
Division. AFC North.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Can we
I'm
get a case of
objective. No. Heck no.
You
We got
scared.
like 4 on Dallas.
We're going to have 4
And I
more?
got that.
No.
I
You're
got
just
it so
feeling
good.
right
Yeah.
now because
good.
you won a few and now you're feeling confident.
Feel good
You're
about myself.
just-
We're going to have some on the Final Four, too.
You'll be okay.
You're having
You'll be
fun.
okay.
Who's left?
Well, I mean, you what? You a
Who's
big-
your team now? Virginia?
Who are
No.
you on now?
Okay.
Nope. I'm going with all. I'm going with Michigan State.
Auburn.
I
I'm
feel
going
like
with
you
Michigan
just
Oh,
State.
you just
decided
switched
that.
around.
I got to go with
Okay.
Michigan State. I got to ride with the team that did me proud.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They
Did me proud.
Cases
Okay.
of do.
All right. Okay.
The
You jumped.
Kenny Goins. He
team
was
to
1
team
for
to
7
team
from
to
3.
Whoa,
team.
whoa, whoa. You don't need to call that man out.
Well, I called it
Hey,
in.
that's an iconic moment, though.
Yeah, it was
That ain't
iconic.
That's iconic.
It could be one shining moment.
Look at Jenny. Jenny got on her Michigan State color.
I didn't even notice that. But
Yeah, you did.
apparently, I
Yeah,
guess
you-
so. I like the Big Ten. Okay, will LeBron be better than ever next season? He's got some time to heal up. We'll discuss it next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
LeBron's season is officially over after he played the fewest games of his career because of a strained groin. But his focus is now on the offseason. LeBron told The Athletic that he is figuring out how to get as much as he can out of the 2 months of extra training. He also had a message for his doubters saying, quote, "I like being uncomfortable in the offseason. I like being counted out. It motivates me." While LeBron should be comfortable while he films Space Jam 2 this summer because reportedly there will be a full-length basketball court on the set when he films the movie. So, Shannon, how much will the offseason help your guy LeBron?
Would help immensely. You heard that, Skip. Full court. Basketball.
Yep.
So he's going to play one-on-one against himself?
Whoa, Skip. Skip.
The extras?
This is my
That would be a battle.
Right?
Right
This-
now,
this-
that would be
That
a
would
battle.
be a good
Well,
game.
This is the most important offseason of LeBron James's
I
going
agree
into
with
the
that.
17-year career.
You're right.
For the very, very first time, there are those that are starting to doubt whether or not LeBron James is the guy anymore. People are starting to circle as if he's starting to go belly up. That's a long, long ways away, Skip Bayless. And as he mentioned, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, He understands. LeBron, see, even if LeBron doesn't hear what's being said directly, there are a lot of those people that are around him that actually hear. And it gets back to him. He hears everything. He hears everything. He heard what you said. Yeah. He heard what the other guy says. Oh, now KD's surpassed him, and Giannis has passed him, and Kawhi has passed him, and yada, yada, yada. Like, okay, I was injured. Everybody knows. Yep. Had I not gotten injured, look at these numbers. I'm still doing what I'm doing. But that's neither here nor there. I did get injured, and I wasn't myself when I came back. But I promise you this. When I get back, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's going to be on, Skip. Because I talked to him. I sent him a DM the other day. He said, Shannon, he goes, now on real talk, Skip, he called me, I'm his guy. He said, thanks, my guy. He said, I'm coming back, and I'm doing two things when I come back. I'm chewing bubble gum and I'm kicking ass.
I don't know whether to believe this or not. Is this a real story?
Real story, real talk.
Fake news.
Real story.
Okay.
He said, now, I don't chew gum. But when I come back in the 2019-2020 season, I'm going to show up. And if I can't chew gum, what's the other reason I'm there, Jenny? To kick ass. So I want you to mark this day down, Skip. This is not April 1st. This is April 2nd, 2019.
Okay.
When LeBron steps on the court next fall, I want you to remember this. All them ones that were talking, everybody was keying and get it. Oh, look at Giannis. Oh, look at KD. Ooh, boy, look at this one. Look at Paul George. Everybody's passed LeBron James by. Well, we're going to have a conversation. Now, I want that same energy. That same energy that everybody was having about Duke and Zion. I said, I need you to have that energy on Sunday now. I need you to have this energy. That the demise of LeBron James, I want you to have that energy next fall. Because, boy, oh, boy. And I'm going to be sitting over here sitting pretty. Because I'm going to be in the catbird seat. Ooh, and this catbird seat going to be nice.
I have no idea what a catbird seat is.
A catbird seat is a favorable position.
I know, but what is it literally? It's a seat in which a catbird sits?
No, it's a...
What is a catbird?
It's a position of strength.
Have you ever seen a catbird?
Yeah, that's me. And I'm sitting in the seat that's going to be occupied next fall when LeBron James take the court. With or without another superstar, you're going to see something you've
with
never
or
seen.
Without? Now, you just said a big mouthful.
Skip, we can't worry about what we're going to have. We just got to worry about what we're going to do. Watch, he'll be lighter, he'll be leaner, because he didn't understand, because, LeBron James in the East, Skip, he handled the basketball, he controlled the pace. But in the Western Conference, it's a lot harder for you to control the pace. He's going to drop 10 pounds, he's going to be able to get up and down, and it's going to be on and popping.
I must say, your anecdote you just told smacked of what my friend Stephen A. Smith reported back in 2011 after the NBA Finals. It was the first LeBron played with the Miami Heat against Dallas. Do you remember this? After Game 3, according to Stephen A. Smith, LeBron went back to his Dallas hotel room. They were up 2-1 with another game to play in Dallas. And he made out an I told you so list of maybe 10 deep, I think, if memory serves. And I was number one on that list. And what proceeded to happen after Game 3? What happened in 4, 5, and 6?
They fell apart.
Nothing good happened
No.
for the King. So I hope that doesn't happen now, because I like what you're telling me. But all of this is my bottom line takeaway to LeBron's situation right now. And this is a crucial turning point. I don't want him to keep telling us what he's going to do. Just show us what you're going to do.
He showed you.
Okay? He hadn't shown me yet.
Yeah, he showed you.
I mean, he showed me 28 and 27 in the games that he played. That's the record of the Los Angeles Lakers in the games he played this year. He showed me that he shot a career worst 66.5% from the free throw line. That will not work in the Western Conference. He's much greater than that.
And will be.
Okay? He showed me that his PER, player efficiency rating, plummeted this year to 25.7. That was tied for the third worst of his career. Offensive win shares were the second worst of his career. Defensive win shares were tied for the worst of his career. That's what he showed me on the basketball court. And I give you all the excuses, many of them legit. pulled groin, torn groin. I don't know what it was. Some groin injury. We had injuries to Lonzo and then lost Brandon Ingram. And then obviously Kuzma's been in and out of the lineup. I give
Rondo
you all
was
that.
in and
I
out.
give you all that. And those all make sense to me. But in the end, this isn't a new narrative. This isn't piling on. This isn't kicking him while he's down. It's facts. It's just we all put the bar way up here because Shannon Sharpe helped put it up here. Best player on the planet. By that standard, way up here, he had a pretty lousy year, and I think even you would agree with that.
I thought
By that standard,
I thought he was playing very well into the groin injury.
okay? I did too. I thought the
fair to say,
team was
yeah.
really good. But I also told you there were 8 games up to December 25th, the big win at Golden State and the groin injury. 8 games were left on the table, sometimes because of him, sometimes because of them. But they didn't close 8 close games that were on a silver platter for the king to close.
Yes.
That didn't seem to be his forte with this team, and it didn't have an established second star where he could trust that guy to close the game.
If you don't-
So they could have been much better than they were on Christmas because it got them to, 20-14, I think it was?
Okay, even if I can see that it was his second worst PER, and he shot his career worst from the free throw line, and his defensive win shares were the lowest of his NBA, tied for the lowest of his NBA career. Had this team been in the playoffs, is people still speaking with that same energy?
No, but they're not.
But that's the thing, though, Skip.
Okay, but he's the best player on the planet, quote unquote. That's what you told me. So going in, his standard is much higher than Kyle Kuzma's standard or Brandon Ingram. You know, I can't help it. It's not piling on. It's just facts. I'm just reacting to what I didn't see.
Okay, coming into the season, we thought Kevin Durant, James Harden, Steph Curry. Could you tell me the player that's on LeBron James' current roster that's equal to a player that's on Steph Curry's roster, or James Harden's roster, or Russell Westbrook's roster?
You did tell me before the season started you liked this supporting cast better than the Cleveland supporting cast.
I don't believe I said that. I said I like the other supporting cast better because they
Did you?
understood
I
their
thought
role.
you liked this one. No? Okay, all right. So I'll give you that point. But the point is that LeBron seemed very comfortable with this roster going in, and I think he co-signed on playmakers versus shooters. I think he did. Surely, as everybody says, when you sign LeBron, especially at this stage of his career, you have to give him the keys to the kingdom.
You don't have to necessarily give him the keys. You might have to give him a key.
Give him a key to the gym, right?
Give him a key. Yes, Skip, you should.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. So it seemed like everything was good for LeBron going in, and he was happy to come here without a slam dunk second star. There
Correct.
was nothing was in concrete where you're going to join so-and-so in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
So he was comfortable to go forward because he probably underestimated a little bit how much tougher the West is than the East.
And then how much those guys, because like I said, he was looking at them from the outside. Maybe he overestimated just how good what the players on that team, maybe he overestimated them. Maybe he overestimated his own ability and what he can get them to do.
Maybe.
Because you have to understand, LeBron James have taken or helped take, however you want to look at it, teams to 8 straight finals.
Okay.
And so you get to thinking, Skip, doesn't matter what the ingredients someone give you, you can make something that tastes good because you've done it for such a long time.
Okay.
If this is the very first time in a long time that he's not going to be in the playoffs or an NBA Finals game. And so when you have that kind of level of success, you get accustomed to thinking, man, give me anybody. Give me Jenny, give me Skip, Shannon, and the 2 camera guys. If we get the 8 seeds.
Cadavers.
Yeah.
That'd be us.
Yes.
Okay.
But right now, you know what, Skip? I'm gonna concede this. LeBron James can't take 4 corpses anymore to the finals. He needs somebody that can actually play a little bit.
Although Kyrie and Kevin Love, I think they were breathing.
Hold on.
Those were
And they got to the finals. Kevin Love went out in game 2 of the Boston series. So he was done.
That final.
Yeah.
I was doing the one that they came back and won.
Yeah.
When Draymond got suspended.
Got suspended. No, see, there you go.
Oh.
You always try to throw it. Skip.
Fact.
He didn't get suspended for game 6 and 7.
Okay. He did not. And Steph Curry fell far short of
See
his
what
two
you see?
MVPs.
You see what he did, Jenny? Again, why you keep doing that instead of saying, yeah, LeBron had an unbelievable series and they came back. Kyrie was phenomenal. You throw it off on what Steph Curry didn't do. How
The
about
difference maker is Kevin Durant. He's the last two finals MVP.
Yes!
He changed the world
Yeah.
in Golden State. He
No.
changed the landscape of
Wow.
the NBA. Okay?
Imagine if LeBron James,
Okay.
just imagine if LeBron James hadn't gotten the second best player to join him after he won 2 MVPs in Miami or 2 MVPs in Cleveland. How different would we have looked at that situation?
Okay? But that didn't happen.
So imagine LeBron James win the MVP and then Kevin Durant go joins him in Miami.
Okay?
Okay.
Didn't happen.
No, exactly.
Maybe it will happen next year. Maybe he'll join him along with Kyrie in L.A. We're going to talk about that
They're
in a few
best
minutes.
friends.
Yep.
They're going to go somewhere together, most
Okay,
likely.
here's
That
here's
goes.
my issue. You don't need to tell us that
Okay.
you're going to have a basketball court outside your trailer making space.
Why
Jim.
not?
Because that's spin control, that's damage control, that's PR strategy. Let's tell the Athletics, Joe Varden, that we're going to have a basketball court. Just do it.
Jordan
right?
did it.
Okay.
Did he have one? Did he tell it? Yeah.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, he had it.
He did.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he had it. A basketball
At least it was
full
talked
length.
about.
Okay.
Full length.
Okay, but why do we have to beat that drum? Like, just let it play out. Do it on your own. I said
The
last
same reason,
day-
the same reason Tom be posting stuff on Instagram about him working out on the beach, about him throwing the ball. Why don't you just let it play out? Why you gotta tell us what you're doing?
I don't think Tom Brady ever says, "Watch what I'm going to do next year."
He just posted. So LeBron could have just posted that on the photo shoot. He could have just posted, "Hey guys, look at this."
Tom Brady just posted an
Picture of the
April
court.
Fool's joke.
Hey, we're gonna talk. I'm talking about LeBron. LeBron said, "Hey guys, I'm on the set right here. This is what I do in my downtime. Yep, full length court."
So
He-
we would have said the same thing.
Exactly.
We would have the same issues with
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying, Skip. I want you to have that energy. Because Tom Brady stay on IG. Oh, he's skiing. Oh, here's Lindsey Vonn. You can see right here, I got over my
We're
head.
about to talk about
What
all
is
that.
your beef with all of that? He's having
Okay,
fun.
But don't tell me it's like the classic Nike slogan that helped make LeBron a lot of money. Just do it. That's all I care about
Here's
now.
a strive for
Just do
greatness.
it.
Strive.
Okay, strive for greatness. Go strive at the free throw line on that
There you go,
basketball
Skip.
court. No, I told you, and I'm serious about this. He should get a shot coach to be with him on set every day. They should shoot 1,000 free
No,
throws
that's
a
too
day.
much. We shoot 150.
Why? Okay, 150. I'll take 150. That's a lot of free throws because after a while, you do it so much it gets ingrained in your psyche and you quit thinking about it.
Yes.
Because he thinks it, he overthinks it, he keeps changing his motion.
Yes, he
Find a routine and simplify it down to that. And just keep doing that until you blank out. It's called the thought of no thought because they're valuable. He shot 66.5%. That means he attempted 335 free throws. He left 57 points on the table this year in only 55 games. Okay, that's 57 missed free throws to get to your 80%. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you're better than that.
He is.
Okay, next year he needs to make 80% of his free
Yeah,
throws.
and I
If
got
you
due on it.
You're good.
Got due on it.
Are you going to do it again?
Yes.
You want due on 80%?
I won't do again.
Okay, well that's a good bet. That's
78.
like 78.
Skip, I mean, you got to realize 60, 67, that's 12% increase.
All right.
Okay, but he's all-time great.
Yeah.
Okay, look at the all-time greats, what they average for their career. Look at Michael Jordan's free throw average for his
We ain't
career.
talking about Mike. We passed him.
Okay, you passed him. Okay, so he's in your rear view, right? Okay, look at Kobe from the free throw line. Look at everybody. Look at Bird and Magic from the free throw line. You can be closer to 90%. You're that good.
No.
Yes.
No, he ain't
I'll
shooting.
take a case of do right now on 80% next year.
78.
78?
78?
78.
Come on.
78%.
He's the best player on the planet.
He is. No, you not
Final
anymore.
offer?
You told me he's 10 now.
Well,
Okay,
that's what
we'll
the
let this
PER
play out.
says.
We'll let it play out.
PER
Either
said
way,
that.
though,
You
2
said
more
that.
months rest for the guy. He's going to be better. He has 2 more months. How can he not be better?
Gonna be great.
Okay?
Okay.
Strive.
Hey everyone, Jenny Taft here, and thank you for listening to the Undisputed podcast. If you like what you hear, then you should subscribe to the First Things First podcast featuring Chris Carter, Nick Wright, and Jenna Wolfe. The First Things First pod breaks down the biggest stories in the world of sports. So if you like the NFL, NBA, college sports, then you're going to like this podcast. The First Things First podcast The First Things First podcast drops Monday through Friday with a special weekend edition as well. And be sure to catch the show live on TV before us every weekday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Now, back to our show.
No mercy. Since you wanted to talk about Tom Brady, Shannon, and all he is doing on social media, so
Here you
this
go.
is fun. He's kind of known for his corny Instagram posts at times, but yesterday he joined Twitter and dropped a bombshell for his first tweet. Brady tweeted, "I'm retiring. In my spare time, I'll be tweeting." He followed that up with, "Was this a bad joke?" So obviously yesterday was April Fool's Day. Shannon, do you like this, love it, or hate it?
Hate it with extreme passion.
You can't over... Okay,
I mean,
explain.
Skip, this is so ridiculous. Tom, you're not funny. You've been so adamant about you're going to play till you're 100. No, the whole key about an April Fool's joke, Jenny, Skip, I thought, was to have it to be somewhat believable. Nobody believes it when I'm doubling down. I've already talked to my wife, and everybody knows that I'm going to play until I'm 45. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to do it. And you come out with this lane? First of all, April Fool's doesn't have the same meaning. Because I turn on the TV every day, and I'm like, this got to be an April Fool's joke. And its actuality is real.
It's real
and I'm
life.
like, are you kidding me? So April Fool's didn't even have, Skip, I didn't even play a joke on anybody. And I'm normally the biggest guy calling people and messing with them. But I couldn't even mess with them because over the last couple of years, every day has been April Fool's to me. But does Tom need that much attention? Here's a guy that got 6 rings, four-time Super Bowl MVP, and he doesn't get a. I mean, come on, Skip, what's going on here, Skip? What's he missing? What is devoid of his life? The guy got a beautiful wife, got kids, got money, got cars. I mean, he has everything, and he playing these corny, lame jokes. That's not in him. Peyton Manning could get you. Because Peyton Manning has personality. You see how he does those commercials, Skip? You saw him on Saturday in SNL. He has that. Everybody can't do that. Everybody doesn't have that personality. And that's okay. But the one thing you can't do is force humor. Either you have it or you don't. It's as simple as that, Skip.
Okay.
And he don't have it. He has other attributes. Great, historically transcendent great quarterback. Being funny ain't it. Playing jokes ain't it. He ought to be ashamed of himself. I just, and when I saw this yesterday, I was like, oh, please.
Clearly.
Every day he get my blood pressure. I mean, I went to the doctor the other day. He said, Shannon, you're doing great. Blood pressure is this and that. I mean, cholesterol, all the good cholesterol is great. Bad cholesterol is, unbelievable. Blood pressure. And every time I talk about this kind of.
Peaks. Gets you going.
I swear
What'd you
he
make
does
of
it just for you.
He got it.
I just believe that. I think somewhere right now, Tom Brady is sitting back cackling at Shannon Sharpe, a Hall of Famer, Shannon Sharpe, because the GOAT got your GOAT again. Am I right? Do you know that old saying?
Yeah.
Like, get your GOAT?
Yeah.
The GOAT got your GOAT.
That's a shame.
That's
Skip.
uppercase, all uppercase,
No.
lowercase.
He ain't no
GOAT.
uppercase. No.
Greatest of all time. And by the way, when you are the greatest football player in history, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do
No,
on
you can't.
social media. Yes, you can.
No.
You can just get away with whatever
He's
you want to
not
get away
funny.
with. Okay? But he doesn't care whether you think he's funny. Is he a little lame, a little corny? Yes,
Little?
he is. Okay? I give you that. But he has always loved pranking his fans in just a playful way. It's not in a malicious way. It's just funny fun. It's just weird funny fun. It's his sense of humor.
It's got to be believable.
What does he always post? I'm going to bungee jump. I'm going to cliff dive. I'm going to ski down the steepest slope in the world at Olympic speed. Is that not Tom Brady? Right? And Shannon's like,
I'm out.
Stop it.
You know what? Here's the thing. This April Fool's supposed to work like this. Jenny, I don't want to put no bad luck on you. But if Jenny posted on her Instagram a sonogram.
Oh, gosh.
Now we got something.
That would be
a
very
cool joke.
unfunny.
Yeah.
But Jenny,
Okay.
that's April
But he
Fool's.
doesn't
That's
do
believable.
that.
Why does it have to be?
It's gotta
it can be funny.
It's got to be believable. That's the whole purpose of it.
I'm gonna
April
stop
got
doing
you.
that. Okay, fine. I see where
Okay.
you're going, but he was just joking around for all the fans.
This isn't his first time on
Jenny.
April Fools.
Yeah,
This
he's
isn't
done
his
this
first.
Okay, give me one he did.
Let's go back to 2015 first. It was reported that in the Bahamas he had just played a basketball game with and against one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So that on April 1st he posts, Jordan's crossover is no joke. If we could see the picture, he's in a full body cast. Jordan's crossover is no joke. That's mildly funny. It's entertaining. At least he doesn't take himself very seriously. Am I right? You laughed. You chuckled a little bit at that
With a
one.
little grin.
You chuckled.
You know what? I think the thing is, for my humor and his humor and most people, I don't get it. Because I thought the whole purpose of April Fools, of you playing a joke on someone or people, it needs to be believable.
Okay.
How is that believable?
Okay, let's try 2017. What did he post on April the 1st? He posted what was going to be the Boston Globe headline of Tom Brady prone. He's down on his knees watching the Atlanta, who was it, Robert Alford running back with his pick six. And the headline was a bitter end. This was going to be the headline because they were down 28-3.
Okay, yes. Okay?
Yes. Okay, and so he's poking a little fun at the Globe and at himself because he did throw a pick six, but then they came back from 28-3 down and they won.
But that wasn't fake news.
Okay, no.
Did he not throw the interception?
Yeah.
Was he not on his? So let me ask you a question. Did they Photoshop Robert Alford in the end zone? Did they Photoshop Tom Brady on his knees?
No.
So how is that fake news?
Well, that's more, that's a different kind of April Fool's because it's not really April Fool's. It's like April Fool's on the
could have
Boston
been.
Globe,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, my sense of humor, I mean, that we just have different tastes in humor. That's it. I mean, Jenny go to the Laugh Factory and a joke that she might find, I mean, she's just like, oh, my goodness. Oh, that's the funniest thing ever. I'm sitting up there like this here.
I love going to the Comedy Store.
And
Okay, but isn't that everybody?
Yes.
Everybody has different sense of humor.
No, but no. Eddie Murphy and Red Fox and Lenny Bruce and all the greats, you know, you listen to those, Robin Harris, Bernie Mac, Chris, I mean, you like, yeah, oh, come on.
But like Lenny Bruce, I didn't find him that funny. Richard Pryor, all time.
Yeah, Rich.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, I was just throwing that. But Rich is my favorite.
Okay, same.
Rich is my favorite.
Okay.
But you know, but in modern time, when you get to Bernie Mac and Robin Harris, ooh, come on, Skip. But I mean, come on, Jenny. You know what an April Fool's joke's supposed to be like. So does Skip. You know it needs to be believable.
You know what, though? A lot of people, I scrolled through the mentions, some were thinking it was real. Honestly, some were like, you can't do this, you can't announce it this way. I mean, it was shocking that people actually did fall.
I tell you what, if Skip Bayless would have like, you know what, I'm finally going to admit something.
Uh-oh.
Shannon Sharpe has been busting me up for the last, you know what I'm saying?
That would be a good April
Save
Fool's
that
joke.
for next year.
I'll do that next year.
No, I ain't know that be true though. That's true. Everybody know that.
No, they
Everybody
don't.
know that be true.
They'd be shocked.
That
They'd
ain't-
say, what are you talking about?
They're gonna be shocked that you would actually admit that publicly. But I know in private you go home and you talk to Ernestine like, Ernestine, he got me today, baby.
I'm way too
Hey,
gullible, so
Trust
no
me,
April Fool's.
trust me, those words have never, ever remotely come off my lips.
He go home and Ernestine meets him at the door like, Skip, what's wrong? He got
She always
me again,
says,
baby.
why are you so tired? I say, I got to carry that guy the whole show. And he's heavy. He weighs 250 pounds.
Oh, you're gonna take that, Shannon? Okay.
Hey, we know what
Here's
happened.
the bottom line to this guy.
Bottom line.
It's hard for you to accept that he's a franchise quarterback because
No.
he's shattering the mold of how you're supposed to act as a franchise quarterback.
No, he's the part of a franchise quarterback. He looks like it. He has no muscle tone. He doesn't have abs. He doesn't have shoulders. I mean, he's prototypical. But all this other stuff, Skip, you got to stay in your lane. I mean, you are what you
Okay,
are.
but what you really are is what got reported the week before the AFC Championship game in Kansas City. Brady walked into the facility, the Patriots facility, and announced to nobody in particular, I am the baddest MF on the planet.
Yeah, okay, that's him.
And he believes that.
I got no problem with that.
You want that.
That's who we are.
All right? Well, that's that guy.
Yeah.
But he's got this corny sort of sense of humor, okay? You got to roll with it. He can do whatever he wants. Hey, if Michael Jordan wanted to play in Washington at age 39 and 40, he had earned the right. Tom Brady just keeps winning Super Bowls, so he's earned the right to do whatever he wants.
Well, I'm glad, because I'm glad he went to Washington. That's what gave Bron that opportunity.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I'm just afraid we're seeing Michael Jordan in Washington, Bron in L.A. That's what I'm afraid of.
You ain't afraid of that.
I am.
You ain't afraid of that. Stop it, Skip. You need to stop playing.
Well, Brian Windhorst raised that possibility the other day, and nobody knows LeBron better than Brian.
Just because he raised the possibility doesn't make it true, Skip. Now you need to stop. Now you see this.
All right, I'll stop when he starts.
Okay.
Show me.
Yeah, MVP next year. That's a start.
Okay.
That's a start.
5 cases on that?
Okay. All right. We're going to switch gears. Are Kyrie and KD guaranteed to join forces this summer? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Signs are pointing towards Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving joining forces this summer, when both will be free agents. ESPN's Brian Windhorst reported that Kyrie and KD's relationship is, quote, as strong as ever. He said they talk and text every day, and during All-Star Weekend, they acted like a middle school couple. That's when Kyrie even started referring to Durant as his best friend. Shannon, what does this tell you?
I don't want to read too much into this. It just tells me that these guys, the days of the 70s and 80s and 90s, Skip, when guys really hated each other, they didn't do this public display of affection for each other. Those days are long gone because a lot of these guys have been playing against each other since they were 9 or 10 years old, AAU. Skip, they team up to go to Zion Williamson went to Duke because R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish was going to Duke. And he says, you know what, I want to go and compete against that level of competition. So guys have been formulating over the last decade. We see guys going to colleges.
Yep.
And now since free agency, since LeBron has made it okay, like, you know what, I don't have to spend my entire career. I can take ownership of my career. I'm big enough. I can move, and I don't need the team's permission to do so. I've always thought Kevin Durant was going to leave Golden State. I never thought that was his permanent home. Kyrie, even after last year, I was like, you know what, there's an 80% chance Kyrie's going to leave. Now I think that's somewhere around 90, 95% chance. But what I think they're doing now, Skip, is just messing with the cameras. I think they see the cameras around and they start yucking it up even more. They go, all of a sudden, because you know this is the thing now, Skip. What you do now, Skip, you see them now, what they do? They put...
Yeah. Like fueling the fire.
So now, and in the hallway, they catch the cameras looking. Oh, they looking, bro. Let's lean in, pretend like we talking about something. Whatever
They do two maxes.
Yeah,
They got
right.
2 maxes.
Yeah.
For me, if they're going to be talking about something serious, Skip, they're talking about that over the phone, via actual call, or via text. They're not going to be talking about anything like this, right? This right, what they're doing right now in front of the camera, that's all for show. That's all to give us something to talk about. But do I think it's a great possibility? I think there's a 70-75% chance that they end up at the same locale. But I think there's a greater chance that Kyrie's leaving Boston and an equally great chance that KD's leaving Golden State. But I think what they're doing in front of the cameras, in front of the media, I think that's all for show.
Okay. So, Brian Windhorst said on his ESPN podcast that he was talking to somebody with Team LeBron, Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, one of those two probably, don't know for sure, who commented that they're like, that KD and Kyrie have become like a middle school couple. They eat together. They do drills together at practice. I'll rebound for you. You rebound for me. I'll post you up. You post me up. It's like they're going to have a sleepover. You know, like, they eat together. They went to Miami together after the All-Star weekend. Kyrie started calling him my best friend. Well, all this behavior to me is childlike behavior, which tells you that the two best closers in basketball right now, KD and Kyrie, to me, they have joined forces, and they are actually holding two good teams hostage in a way, and in effect, they're holding the whole NBA hostage, right?
Yes.
Because this is heady stuff.
Right.
These two kids, and they still seem kid-like to me.
Is KD 30 yet?
Yes, he's 30.
Turned 30, okay.
Okay, but he's got the big kid in it,
Yeah.
right?
He's a kid 30.
He's a kid 30, and Kyrie they're both smart and deep. They're deep thinkers, but they're childlike sometimes. But these two kids, on July 1st, some whim is going to change the whole NBA landscape, right? Because it could be the night before. I don't know what could happen. They're eating together. And they decide, hey, let's go there.
Right.
Together.
Right.
Oh, that sounds good. Let's go there. Well, it feels like it's going to be on a whim on July 1st or the last day of June, that they'll just decide, let's do that. So you and I know a source who told us, 3-4 weeks ago, that KD, Kyrie are coming to join LeBron. That's heady stuff. I'd love to see that.
Sure.
And that same source recently suggested that now it sounds like KD is leaning towards staying in Golden State. Okay. So what? I don't know. Tomorrow they'll be leaning this way.
Right.
They'll be leaning that way.
I think because each of these guys are their own man.
Yeah.
And you never know what one of them is going to do, Skip. Because I don't think anybody thought. So everybody said, yeah, we saw this coming, but Kyrie wanting out after all of a sudden after going to the three straight finals.
Yep.
And then, everybody thought it was going to be a honeymoon period, and now it seems that he's dampened on Boston. For KD to do what he did at the very beginning, to leave OKC and go to Golden State, he's telling you, I don't give a bleep what y'all think.
True.
I'm going to do what KD want to do.
True.
I don't care what you say. Call me Saul, call me whatever. But when it's all said and done, you're probably going to call me a 3-time champ with a 3-time finals MVP. That's what you're going to call me.
Yeah.
And so he's set. So he has the luxury of going wherever. The big domino is KD. Once KD moves, you'll know it's going to be a frenzy after that, because now everybody's going to want to arrange a meeting with Kyrie or Kawhi and the Jimmy Butlers. Clay. Well, if KD leaves, they're going to max Clay out. Clay's not going anywhere. You can ill afford to lose both of those guys.
I agree.
So Clay will get maxed out. But once KD determines where he goes, all hell will break loose.
Yep. That used to be LeBron.
Yes.
He would set the whole NBA landscape.
Right.
And now it's KD's turn.
It'd have been interesting, Skip. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, I don't know if the Lakers would have done this. Let's say LeBron signs a 1-year deal with the Lakers, and now he's a free agent this year. So now you got LeBron, you got KD, you got Kawhi, you got Kyrie, Jimmy Butler. What's going down, Skip?
I'm surprised LeBron didn't do that.
I think I think he wanted a commitment, because everybody said, he's not committed. I think he wanted to give the commitment. I believe he trusts Jeannie Buss. I believe he trusts Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka. He never trusted that snake, Dan Gilbert. Well, he couldn't have been too much of a snake because you went back and joined up with him.
He did.
So with that being said, I just think that he has the utmost trust in Rob, Magic, and Jeannie Buss, and he says, you know what? I'm willing to give you a 3-year plus an option, which means I'm going to be here for 4 years. So I think that's where he is in that situation. But it's been very interesting.
Still smacks of semi-retirement to me, where he said, I just want a cushion. I want to go somewhere where I know I can finish there.
Get that man playing like that. They had to fight the man to get him to sit down. You see, I try to, you know what, Skip? I try to go part of the way with you. I walk half the way with you, and it's not good enough. You just got to go to it's semi-retirement. The man
It felt like it to me. It felt like chasing Michael B. Jordan.
It felt like it felt like it the last 2 months because they were been out of the playoffs.
Yep.
But before that, you didn't think that.
Which brings me to my conclusion. There's only one way out of this for LeBron James. I'm going to say it again. These two kids need to decide on July 1st, let's go help LeBron win a championship. That would do it. That's the only case closed.
I think we can do it if we get that ping pong ball with Zion Williamson's name on it.
And just trade him straight up for AD?
And True Holiday.
Both?
Yes. You want him? Do you want him, Pelicans? Yes or no? And we might dangle him over your head like y'all did AD to us. Put all our business out there in the street and they'll upset our locker room.
I would give you a chance if you could keep those two and some of your kids, like all your kids.
No. We can't keep all of them, Kip. Yeah, we got to move some because we got to get some pieces that's going to fit. We got to get some shooters. We're going to put some shooters around AD and Bron.
I just don't know if AD is enough, but KD and Kyrie would be way
Man, the
enough.
NBA ain't going to let that happen.
Why wouldn't they? They can't stop that.
Skip.
It's not a trade. It's free agency.
No, they're not going to let that happen, Skip.
Why not?
Skip,
They can't stop that.
They're not going to let the number 1 and possibly number 3 free agent go join LeBron in L.A. They're not going to let that happen.
Okay, well, what's he going to do? No?
Yeah. Ask Chris Paul trade what they
Okay,
do.
but that was a trade.
Yeah.
And again, that was when the NBA was running the Pelicans.
They
right?
were new rules now, you can re-sign with your team for $300 million instead of $250.
Okay. All right.
They'll find a way around it. They're not gonna let that happen.
Well, why not? Don't you want to see it happen?
I would love to see
or
that
do you
happen.
feel like it would give too much of an excuse to LeBron? You know, like, oh,
No.
it needed that.
No, because you would say, yeah, he's the third wheel. LeBron could be averaging 30, 8, and 5. And KD be averaging 26, 5, and 7. And Kyrie averaging 24. And, LeBron the third wheel.
In every last 2 minutes of every game, those two would have the ball in their hands, saying, you got this? No, I got this.
No, LeBron gonna have the ball in his hand, and he always gonna make the right decision.
How good would it be? How great would they be? KD, Kyrie, LeBron in Los Angeles as Lakers. What would happen? There's no KD in Golden State anymore.
I'll be at every game.
Huh? You'd be
You
at every
would
game.
not.
I'll be at every game. Oh, that'd
Did
be
you go to one this year?
I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
Got to get out more.
That would be almost as big as the Cleveland Browns.
Almost.
Right? Almost.
Let them tell it. Oh,
I know.
Well, speaking of that,
that would be an iconic press
That would be
conference.
iconic.
Or if they said not one, not two, not three.
That's true.
Those are press conferences people remember, Skip.
it is
You sitting up there talking about, yeah, we spoke this into existence.
Yep.
I screamed. I cried.
Would probably.
I cried to him too. I cried to John Dorsey too. I was just crying all over the.
I cried to Magic Johnson. I cried to Jeannie Buss. I cried.
LeBron told Odell that he couldn't stay in his home in Ohio. But hey, will Odell miss playing in New York? We'll discuss his new spot next.
No mercy.
Odell Beckham Jr. is officially in Cleveland after leaving the bright lights of New York. Beckham said yesterday that he talked to a man who knows Cleveland better than anyone else, LeBron. And the King told him, quote, "You're going to love it." Beckham talked about playing in his new city yesterday. Let's hear it.
At the end of the day, I know where I'm at in life. I don't need to be in New York. I don't need to be in LA. I could be in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I've created this what I would call a legacy. So it never really crossed my mind going to Cleveland or worrying about marketing or worrying about any of that. I care about football. I care about winning. All the extra. I didn't step into this game to be famous. I didn't. That's just what fell into my lap.
Okay, Shannon, do you believe Odell?
I believe he came into the league wanting to be a great football player, but he likes the fame. Skip, if he's playing for the Cleveland Browns and he makes that Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals, or the Indianapolis Colts, and he makes that exact same catch,
Yep.
do we ever hype it up like this?
Nope.
He played for an iconic franchise.
He did.
It happened on a Sunday night, and he's playing against another iconic franchise.
That's true.
And how much money do you think Odell has made off of signing that very photo, his name across the bottom of it?
Good point.
Odell, bro, we are who we are. If you love fame, so be it. Got no problem with that. It comes along with the territory. But Odell knows what this is. Victor Cruz said Odell was upset about the betrayed and that he didn't have more say-so in it. So let me ask you this, Skip. If the Giants said, Odell, we're going to trade you, where would you like to go? If you don't mind me asking, Skip, tell me where Cleveland ranks on that list.
Great point.
Odell must be think we dumb. Odell think we crazy or something.
He does.
We know how this works, Odell. Odell, if you didn't play for the Giants, they're better receivers than you. DeAndre Hopkins, in my opinion, is better than Odell.
I'll buy that.
Julio, AB, they're better receivers than Odell.
Just look at productivity.
Odell played in New York.
Yep.
He got colorful hair. He hangs out with. You think if you weren't famous, you could hang out with Drake? You could tour with Drake? Do you think if you weren't famous, you're going to be able to have LeBron's number and be able to call him and the man would invite you to let you stay in his house?
Yep.
You know what comes along with this. Just embrace it.
Yep.
Odell, look. What that catch showed Odell, Skip, an individual in a team sport did not need the team success in order to be famous, to be successful.
Yep.
Because he made that catch. He burst onto the scene. He's a household name. He's been to the playoffs one time. And we're still talking about the catch. We still talk about the performance that he puts on
Yep.
before the game itself. So in other words, I can be famous, Skip, and I ain't even got to do nothing. I ain't even got to win. Normally, I had to win, especially in the team sport. But oh, lo and behold.
I have so many problems with this, I don't know where to start.
Tell us.
Because this whole press conference goes all over the Northeast Ohio map with all sorts of contradictions and issues and greats and bads and ironic and iconic, right?
Okay.
Because it's a lot more ironic than iconic. And I still can't get over the fact that Odell was talking about, we're going to remember this day. We'll look back in 10 years and be like, man, I remember. What's today? April 1st, 2019, the start of something great. Well, the ironic is it's on April Fool's Day,
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
That
Don't
doesn't
think he
ring
thought about
true.
that.
I don't
you
think
probably,
he doesn't
you
think
probably should have had it on today.
Okay, so he calls LeBron and says, what's it going to be like in Cleveland? And LeBron obviously tells him, you're going to love it. LeBron James was born and raised in Northeast Ohio.
Yes.
He has Akron in his heart and in his soul and in his blood, right? So,
correct.
yes, he loved it because he was from there.
Yes.
I love Oklahoma City, and I don't expect anybody else to, but I love it. I love going back there for my 1 week every summer because I feel like I go back to God's country, but
Yeah.
nobody else is going to feel like I feel.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell somebody you're going to love it because they probably wouldn't love it, right?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's saying LeBron's that's like my idol. Okay, remember he plays a dependent position in the sport of football.
Correct.
Not unlike the position you play,
Right.
right? And yet his idol is a basketball superstar, a megastar, an all-time great. His idol isn't Jerry Rice or Michael Irvin because he wants to be an NBA megastar, right?
He wants to transcend the game of football.
He does. So he can't accept I'm a football player. I'm actually an NBA superstar masquerading as a football player because I can do things that LeBron can do. He's my idol. I want to be LeBron.
Right.
Well, okay, you do dominate Instagram as far as NFL stars go, but when you look at the bigger picture, like Odell's got 12.9 Instagram followers. LeBron has 48.2 million. You're not in his league, right?
No.
Even though you dominate NFL, but obviously, as Ernestine always says to me, I can't see their faces. You know, they got their helmets on, so
That's
it's
one of the
hard to
reasons.
transcend.
Yes.
It's hard to be
so
that.
interesting.
Yeah, can't see. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what Odell looks like without his helmet on. You know, like I don't see enough of him. And yet, if we go to the biggest, the world picture, Ronaldo has 160 million
not
IG
even.
followers. It's like not like that's. What's LeBron at 48? What's the math on 48 to
That's
160?
96.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
So he needs 48 plus 48.
and then some. Yes, right, 3 times.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so now we go back to Odell's comments, and he says, I've created a legacy. What?
What?
Legacy? I don't get it. The catch legacy, you've become famous for being famous. You did that.
Right.
You have some Kardashian going on.
Yes.
Is that not Kardashian? Is that not like Paris Hilton-esque, where people say, what are you famous for exactly? Because you're a very good receiver, but to your point, you're not the best receiver.
Right.
You haven't dominated the way Jerry Rice or Michael Irvin dominated playoff games.
But what about legacy of winning?
Okay.
You notice it ain't no legacy of winning.
The
Skip.
next
It's-
line right after I create a legacy, he said, I care about winning.
But what
Prove it. Show me.
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I hear this. You care about winning as long as they don't put you on the onside team and you got to recover that ball.
Good point.
Because if you got to recover that ball,
You don't care
I
about
don't care about
bad.
the winning.
That was
No.
bad. You're right.
No.
Oh,
You
what-
care about winning until on a whim you say, let's go to South Beach and hang out on a yacht.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Skip.
Not a good one.
That was that 2015 when he was getting into it with Josh Norman. Where was winning on his priority list then? Or was it getting back at Josh Norman for the things that he had said
Sounds
and
like
what
it.
he had done to you?
Okay.
Where was winning on that priority list?
Okay,
At
I'm
the-
with you.
You can put him in L.A., you can put him in New York, you can put him in Sheboygan,
Yeah,
you can put
Sheboygan.
you can put him in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin. I know
Sheboygan's
about
great.
I know about
You
it.
do.
I do know.
How do you know that?
You know my brother did play in Green Bay.
Did?
Yeah,
Did
he
you go
play.
visit up there?
I did.
Yeah.
Skip, a tiger in the jungle is the exact same tiger in the zoo. All you did was change his habitat. I give you a prime example. Ask that lady, I think it was Arizona, when she tried to take that selfie with that jaguar. He did to the very thing in the cage when she got close enough and he could stick his paw through the bars. He did the exact same thing. if he'd have caught her in the jungle trying to take a selfie with him. He did the exact same thing. The moment Odell get 2 passes, I want to see if he still cares about winning.
Yeah.
Because it's great. Up there, all I care about is winning. Because guess what? Baker hadn't thrown 1 pass to someone not named Odell.
That's true.
But what happens when Jarvis Landry has 7 or 8, or when Njoku has 5 or 6, and at the end of the day, Odell got 2. Now, we're going to see if he still has that same energy because that legacy is about winning. We're going to see.
Okay. So we just talked about how Odell's idol, LeBron James, has something to prove this offseason.
Yes.
It's a crucial offseason for LeBron.
Absolutely.
I would suggest exactly the same for this young man.
Yes.
Because he has proved nothing. LeBron James has 3 championships
Yes.
and has played in 9
finals.
And he went to 8 straight
Yes.
NBA finals.
Right.
Odell has been to 1 playoff game in 5 years and tainted it by preparing for the frozen tundra in South Beach.
Yeah.
That's all you got. You don't have any legacy.
And it's hard, Skip. It's hard for a receiver to impact the game because let's just say you catch the game-winning touch. Let's say you catch a touchdown and there's 2 minutes left on the clock. Skip, you can't go out there and play DB.
No.
You know you can't get on the kickoff team and go down there and try to strip a guy on kickoff return.
No.
LeBron James, not only can he score the game-winning basket or a shot to put a team ahead, he can block the shot.
He can.
To prevent the other team from getting
Huge,
a shot up.
huge difference.
So when you can influence the game on both sides of the ball, it's a difference.
It is.
And Odell doesn't get that. Look, Odell, like I said, 12.4, that's a lot of followers, Skip.
It is.
That shows he has a vast reach.
Yeah.
In NFL context.
Yeah, Yeah, but you look at Ariana Grande and Kim Kardashian got 133 million. The Rock's over 100 million. You look at some of those, and Taylor Swift and Katy Perry. I'm like, I didn't even know that many people in America.
It blows me away.
You got a third of the people in America following you.
You do. Okay. So my bottom line to Odell Beckham Jr. is he's such a contradiction to me because I want to like him and then I stop cold and say, I don't know if I can trust you.
Right.
Because he can be egomaniacal and then in the next breath, he's humble and a little insecure.
It's a little of both. And he acknowledged that. He said, I hear the criticism, and the problem is it does bother me. But he acknowledges it, but then he goes back and talks about his legendary self.
All right. Okay,
It's a little of both.
you better show us next year that you can be a good teammate, you can be a good, like a very talented cog in a winning system.
Yeah,
right?
your old shake. Oh, look at that thing. Hold on, Jimmy. This thing just refreshed. Oh, Skip, get what?
Followers, or?
Yep. Let me see what I got. Oh, Skip, I got $9.98.
Really?
Oh, Shane, y'all about to get a meal.
Really?
About to get a meal ticket.
Are we going to have a celebration?
Yeah, we're going to have a celebration.
Would you believe I'm almost to 3 million Twitter followers?
I
How can you
looked
believe
earlier,
that?
and Skip, I have to say, that's
Wow.
pretty impressive.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really do Twitter like that. I'm just building a little Twitter something, But I'm on IG.
So IG is all for show, but
Don't do that,
Twitter
Skip.
has to have some
Facts.
depth to it.
I do. That's what I do. Oh, they love me on here.
You guys have different strengths.
You know what I'm saying?
Different strengths. That's true.
I'm gonna have
like that.
I'm gonna have a cake. Go come in here and celebrate.
Okay,
on me.
we'll see. All right, the Thunder,
Tomorrow.
they have been struggling lately. What is wrong in OKC? Steven Jackson answers that question next while Shannon replies to everyone on.
You're right.
No mercy.
The Thunder are in a tailspin right now. They've lost 7 of their last 9 and are currently 8th. They're the 8th seed in the West. The latest blow was a loss on Sunday to the lowly Mavericks without Luka Doncic. After the game, Paul George said, quote, "The fact of the matter is we're still playing past April 10th. These games are just to fine-tune." And by the way, they play the LeBron-less Lakers tonight. So we're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Steven Jackson. Steven, what is going on right now with the Thunder?
Well, you worry about, you fine-tune when you playing the piano.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You ain't fine-tuning right now. You ain't tuning nothing up but to have your first-round exit.
Yeah.
That's basically what they tuning up. You can't say that. The way they've been playing, the games they've been losing, going into the playoffs, you can tell they're not focused. They don't have the attitude of a playoff team right now. The way they're playing, even the response by Paul George, that's not the response that you say a couple weeks before the playoffs. Your response is supposed to be, we suck right now.
Yep.
We got to figure this out before the playoffs or we're going to be out in the first round. That's all you say. I think they're kind of in denial. They think they're better than what they are right now, but the way they're playing right now, they're going to be out the first round, no question.
I'm going to attribute a lot of it to, and I agree with what you said, but offensively, they're struggling.
Yeah.
They're 28th since the All-Star break in offense efficiency. Skip, before the break, they were 3rd in defense. Now they're 13th.
Yep.
So now they're not getting the production on the offensive side, and they're letting teams get what they want on the defensive side, which is a recipe for disaster. Because when you look at it, Paul George is still averaging 28 points a game, getting about 7, 8 rebounds. Russ is going to average another triple-double. There's no reason for them to be playing like this. Now, Steven Adams, he come and goes. I mean, one game he might give you 20-20, and the next game he'll give you 5 and 8.
His numbers are actually career best across the board, but
Yeah.
go ahead, they're not huge.
Right. But I'm saying in some games
No,
you're
I
like,
know. You're
"Ooh,
right.
he a monster."
He consistent.
I agree.
Jeremy Grant has
Yep, he does.
flashes,
Yep.
but for them, their guys have to be great. Russ and Paul George is going to have to be Russ and Paul George. But I really never took this team serious. I mean, did anybody actually think they were a serious contender in the West? They were fooling themselves. There's 2 teams, the Rockets and the Warriors. That's it. And Houston needs to be able to avoid the Warriors before the Western Conference Finals. But
I thought you liked Denver.
them threes. I mean, look, I see. Jokic can't control his emotions. He turned it into Boogie Cousins.
He turned into a little Steve Jackson.
Because every time I turn around, now he did get fouled. The guy pushed him in the back. But you can't come on, bro. And guess what happened? They lost to the Wizards because he was out.
So I watch a whole lot of Thunder basketball because I do enjoy watching this team play. And if you hark back to Valentine's Day, they were just a game and a half behind Denver for 2nd in the West, and they were 3.5 out of 1st.
Right.
Pretty good, right?
good.
Yep.
And at that point, I'm making a case. Paul George is making a run at MVP.
And he was.
He was. And then he hit the wall. And when he hit the wall, he hurt his shoulder.
Yes.
Because something went wrong, and he missed 3 games with some kind of, I don't know what it was, undisclosed shoulder injury. And he went from MVP back to being a little bit of George Paul.
No,
Just a little bit of George Paul. And the truth was, he was carrying this team on both ends of the floor
Yes,
because
he
he
was.
was a disruptive defender. And all of a sudden, Russ started getting exposed because these are the most misleading numbers in the history of basketball to me, is that he's averaging a triple-double, 23-11, and leading the league at 10.4 assists. Triple-double he's averaging yet again. And he's even worse than LeBron is from the free throw line. He's 65.7%. That's truly
That's terrible.
bad for him, for a point guard. Man.
Yeah, he was 80% before this year.
Yeah. And from 3, he's now 28.8%. And he's going to take them.
And
He's
that's
going to jack them up.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not that he's shooting 28%. It's the number that he
He's gonna
shoots
take 'em.
per game.
Okay, so of the 183 qualified three-point shooters, he's 3rd worst in the league. Of the 122 qualified free throw shooters, he's 115th. So he's near the bottom in 2 key shooting categories that mislead you off those triple-double stats, right? It disqualifies the triple-double numbers and the league-leading assist number because he's just going to miss too many free throws and three-point shots. Over time, it's going to hurt you. Unless Paul George is playing at an MVP level, then you're not going to survive this.
The thing is that, in Stacks, you've heard this, and I heard you mention it. Shooters shoot. But Russ is not a shooter. Russ is a scorer.
Right.
That is true.
Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are shooters.
Right.
So, yeah, they believe.
I
but
agree.
Russ has adopted that philosophy that, my next one's going to go in. That's not what you are. You are a scorer. And scorers and shooters are different.
Yep.
Steph Curry might miss 15 in a row over 3 games. But I tell you what, that 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th game,
Yeah, it's over.
he going to make 30 of them.
That is true.
Just like what we've seen, he's made 5, I think, 7 or 8 straight games that he's made 5 or more three-pointers. That's what he does. But Russ, and I'm like, Russ, why are you shooting? It's like,
Well, he has to shoot because if you look at his team, can't nobody else shoot.
but I don't want him shooting threes. Shoot 2s.
Right, that's true.
For a while, I thought Schroeder, he's streaky, but he's 28%.
But what are you getting from Ferguson? What are you getting from all
One
the
game,
other
he might
guys?
give you 20. Then other night, I saw he had like 4 points.
Yeah, so like the supporting cast is definitely not consistent.
But you can't lose to the Mavericks without Doncic. You
can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You just can't do it, especially at this time of year.
You can't lose, period.
Well,
You can't lose to that team.
Yeah.
Period.
Somebody
Going into the
blew
playoff.
up your phone.
Yeah, I just dropped it.
So
yeah.
angry about it.
I think a lot of that may be Russ blowing up your phone.
Yeah, but Russ shooting threes. I mean, I'm like, dude, get to the basket.
He can get to the basket at will anytime.
Yes. And when they collapse, you just kick it.
Kick it to who?
Paul George.
Okay, if they sitting on him, who are you gonna kick it to?
Jeremy Grant.
No. He's been playing okay.
Yeah.
He's been playing okay. But you got to remember, I got to always bring this up, Skip.
Mm-hmm.
This same team we're talking about has a guy that they're paying $80 million that gets hacker-shacked. That's not a winning recipe.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to win.
Who, Roberson?
Yes.
He don't even let it play.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Even more of my point.
Contract, yeah.
Yeah, they don't let it play.
Even more of my point.
So he's not back from his injury.
I don't know. Well, he don't like. I mean, what he broke his leg or something?
Yeah, whatever. But he's not even back yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so they have improved dramatically on defense, but they're the 28th three-point shooting team, and they're the
That's
23rd
terrible.
free throw shooting team.
No, you're not winning. If you shoot that bad, from the 3-point line and the free throw line, you're not winning in no playoff. You're not winning no playoff series.
Not at all.
Yet and still. Do I think they're semi-dangerous in the post? I do.
To who?
I do.
Hold on.
Well,
they got Golden State. They beating Golden State in the first round in the 8th spot.
By the way, who's in the 7th spot now?
Oh,
The team you said wasn't going to make the playoffs?
I mean, y'all made the playoffs. Y'all going home.
Like 2 days ago, you said they're not going to make the playoffs.
Hold on.
They're 7th,
Hold up.
and it's in concrete.
Hold on. Did Sacramento do a job on you guys?
Everybody loses to some bad team this time of year.
I don't know about this. I don't know about them somebody.
We
I
just
know about the
talked
Spurs.
about Oklahoma City and
Yes.
Doncic.
I don't know about
Doncic,
Oklahoma
right?
City. I don't even know where Oklahoma is.
Okay.
But I know where San Antonio is.
Yeah.
And I know Buddy Hale came in there and put that thing on y'all.
Well, what did the Timberwolves just put on Golden State?
We're not talking about the Golden State's in the number 1 spot.
You're not worried
Are you worried about Golden State with Clay,
I'm always
Steph,
worried
and
about
KD?
having to play them in the first round. That's all.
Oh
I'm worried
yeah.
about.
Ooh, please.
I'm worried about Denver though. I don't think
Okay.
they have enough experience.
Come on, Oklahoma.
Really?
Oklahoma City. All you got to do
How about
is just.
Spurs Denver in the first round?
I
I'd
like
take
Spurs.
That.
I like
would like
Spurs.
the Spurs.
I bet you would.
And you'd be coming in here with your head
Yeah.
hanging.
Pop gonna coach his way through that one.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna go further than up in Toronto.
Number 2.
Oh,
Number
right
2?
there. Oh, he doing that thing. Oh, he doing that thing.
that team is going to go as far as Danny Green carries them.
Stop it.
Danny Green's been lighting it up, man.
They got Siakam playing.
Hey,
Siakam playing.
I worked out with him last summer. That kid's
Yeah.
Is he
special.
really?
Yeah.
Is he your height? Is he?
He's a little taller than me. He's about 6'9". Yeah. Yeah.
Siakam playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's their star.
Don't do that, Skip.
Oh, come on.
They'll do that.
Come on.
But they should have kept Valanciunas because he killing in Memphis.
Nah, I don't think he's better than Big Fella. Big
He
Gasol.
better than stop
No
it.
way,
Stop
no
it.
way.
Stop it.
Gasol still got some ball left. Watch the playoffs.
Yeah,
Watch the
he's been there
playoffs.
and done that.
Watch the playoffs. The
all
big
he,
fella.
All he gonna do is set some screens. That's all he doing.
Still one of the best passing big men in the league.
That's what Valanciunas gave me 24 and 20.
Yeah, yeah.
You been watching it?
He's nice. Hey, anybody can get buckets in Memphis.
They did give me a 10-day.
You can do it. You can do it.
Wouldn't it be something if Oklahoma City just flipped the switch and went to Golden State and won game 1?
It can happen.
It could happen.
I know. We be the 1 seed. They had the MVP and the best record in the league.
That wasn't that 1 seed.
But still, they had Dirk at his best.
Okay, Dirk at his best. Is he better than KD?
Dirk is what, top 5 all-time in scoring?
Yeah, I'm just asking you a simple question. That's what I ask you.
I'm just giving you facts too, though.
Right now.
Right.
If Dirk at his absolute best, is he better than KD right now?
Not at all.
Okay, then.
Not
So
at
what we
all.
talk about?
You right,
Okay,
you
which
right.
one? Which one?
He
of the guys?
still was the best player that year in the league.
No, he wasn't. He just won the MVP. But anyway, what we gonna do about Steph? Who they had on that
Ain't
team?
nothing you can do with Steph.
Okay, what about Clay?
Nothing.
What are you going to do about KD with 1 foot out the door? That's what you want to
That's
do.
what.
But you know what? He got 1 foot out the door, but he putting that other foot in everybody but Jakob.
So how'd you guys do it then? What was the reason?
How we beat them?
Yeah.
We just wanted it more.
Wanted it more?
And we had a coach that had us well prepared. He
Okay.
knew the Mavericks better than everybody. And he gave me the blueprint to guard Dirk. And I studied it.
Dirk missed some shots.
That's where
Stop
it
that.
comes in, wanting it.
Look at the
He
series.
said he missed some shots.
Wouldn't let him go left. Made him go right the whole series.
Really?
Yes. And if
Did
you
you
look
guys
at
make
it.
threes?
Oh, we did.
Bombed 'em.
I had 7 in game 6.
And Baron Davis dunked on something.
Carolinko, that was second round. That was second round. We wasn't ready for Utah. They was too big.
All right. Moral of the story: no fine tuning.
No fine tuning.
Gotta be
Only
fast.
pianos. Only pianos.
Okay, Stephen, always good to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
so
you.
the Browns have a lot of stars, but will everyone get along? We'll discuss next.
no mercy.
Odell Beckham Jr. was introduced as a member of the Cleveland Browns yesterday. He was joined by Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett, and his former LSU teammate, Jarvis Landry. Beckham said the blockbuster trade that brought him to Cleveland is, quote, going to be one of the best things that has ever happened to him. All parties involved seem very happy to have OBJ in Cleveland. Let's take a listen.
I feel like we spoke this into existence almost. Like him and I dreamed of this. You know, this is something we talked about at 17.
I had two people at the house sitting there when I found out. I just started screaming, just yelling like you would have thought I was on the field on game day. Just exciting, you know what? Because it's the potential. It's knowing exactly who he is and knowing what type of guy he is.
And right now, we're just a bunch of good individual players. All right? Yeah, our roster looks great on paper. Whoop-de-hell. All right? But at the end of the day, we better be a good team. And you start building that during this time of the year.
I think this moment is going to be more iconic than we all realize right now. You know, that's what we'd want the goal to be. You know, to look back in 10 years and be like, man, I remember what's today, April 1st, 2019, like the start of something great. You know, and I'm just happy to be a part of that.
Okay, we're joined by Fox football analyst Reggie Bush.
sir.
Good to have you
we
back
go.
with us today. So we just saw all those personalities, all those faces. How will it all work out with everyone together like that in Cleveland?
Well, I like what I'm hearing from the head coach because it's going to start with the head coach and it's going to start with the culture that he builds there with those guys. He said, whoop-de-hell, we look good on paper right now, which is true. They look good on paper. And we've seen a lot of great teams, or a lot of great players come together, but they're not a team, right? And so, to me, this is about legacy. This is an opportunity for Odell and the rest of the team to do something special that has never been done in Cleveland. This is the best team on paper that Cleveland Browns has ever had.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually ran into Odell a couple days ago at a restaurant, and we had a conversation.
Here, right?
Here in Los Angeles. And I said to him, this reminds me of my first year in New Orleans, going to that city post-Katrina. Now, I know this is a little different situation, but the significance of it, because I don't know if there's a more dedicated fan base than the Cleveland Browns, right? They have been starving for wins. We're not talking about playoffs. They've been starving for wins down there. And so now he has an opportunity to really revive this city, right? Much like Baker did when he stepped in last year. He revived that stadium. I was at that game. It was just a different feeling. You could feel the electricity. They have that ability right now as a team.
So you were at the Thursday night.
At the Thursday night football game.
Thursday
night football game. Yeah, at the Jets game.
Right.
And so this has that same significance because they have something special in front of them, and they have the ability. You win a Super Bowl in Cleveland, you don't have to pay for food, drinks, hotel, nothing for the rest of your life. Because winning the Super Bowl in Cleveland is a lot different than winning the Super Bowl for the New York Giants. Been there, done that before with the Giants. Cleveland, they've never done it before. And so everybody's going to have to be unselfish, not just Odell, not just Jarvis Landry, because there is only one football on the field. And I thought you made a great point because you said that Odell, he can play offense, but he can't go play defense too, right? And so now this is where your leadership has to shine because when you are down at halftime and you have to fight, kick, claw, scratch against the Baltimore Ravens, a divisional opponent who's seen you twice, or the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are still a good football team with a good coach, this is where your leadership is going to have to really shine because, like you said, you can't play defense, right? So you need to elevate the players around you. You got to make guys around you. And that, to me, that's where legacy really shines is with guys who have the ability to make players around them better.
Okay, gut feeling, will this work?
I think it will work, yes. I think it will work because of all the pieces around them. They have the energy that Odell needs. No offense to Eli Manning, but Baker Mayfield, he plays the game differently than Eli does right now. Odell needs that energy, right? He needs the energy of the youthfulness of that football team. And so I think it will work, but the only way this works is if they are all unselfish. That's the only way this works.
That's not been a word that anybody ever used to describe Odell Beckham Jr., right?
Yeah,
You're right.
Probably not.
Go ahead, Skip.
But he's never been to Cleveland, too.
I want to love this so much. In all my years of watching press conferences, I don't think I've ever seen one quite like this. We've been digging out from under it for this whole show, and every time I excavate another nugget, I say, they said that? Somebody said something. Odell intrigues me because he doesn't like doing media sessions solo. He can be egomaniacal. We all know that. But he likes to have some backup. You know, he likes to be reinforced by Jarvis and Baker. And I don't know what Myles Garrett was doing. Did he even speak? I haven't seen a quote.
He was there for moral
There were a
support.
couple.
Just for moral support.
They
That's all.
weren't as notable.
Does he deserve to be? Yeah, he deserves in his star power, his position. I got you. But in the end, it still comes across to me that Odell is trying to talk himself into loving this situation. Everything was like, I'm trying to speak this into existence, to quote LeVar Ball, but he used that quote.
Right.
And then he went so far as to say, we're all going to look back on, what's today? Oh, it's April 1st, 2019. This is going to be an iconic moment. Greatness started today. And ironically, it was on April Fool's Day. So is it going to be an April Fool's joke? Because I'm with Freddie.
Oh, I can see the memes now.
I know.
I know. But on paper, it's sensational. They got the best receiving core in football with Njoku on top of that.
Right.
And other. It's
Higgins
a
and
deep,
Callaway.
It's deep. Callaway can fly, man.
Yeah.
Little Callaway. They stole him in the draft because he's got his off-field issues, right?
Right.
Run game.
Whew.
That run game is
Nick
looking
Chubb,
good.
I know.
Chubb and Kareem Hunt comes back in week
Green-
9.
yeah.
Duke Johnson, they still got Duke Johnson.
But Duke now
Duke's
he wants
upset, he wants out.
Okay, but that's
Yeah, we can see
typical.
that.
Okay.
Understandable.
And Ogba already wanted out and got out, right? He talked his way out of town. But still, on paper, the offense, because Baker Mayfield's going to be really good to potentially being great in this league. I loved him before the draft. We went back and forth about it. But his energy equals their energy.
Yeah.
And they're going to love this if, to your point, you just have one football. And I don't know that Odell's ever going to be truly happy if he catches 2 passes and they win by 21. I don't know.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
And I agree with you 100%, but you can be just as effective without the football as you can with the football. And so that's where the unselfish side has to come in, because I know what Odell, the receiver, can do. I want to see what Odell, the run game blocker, can do, right?
Well, what have you seen after 5 years? Have you seen that side of him?
I've seen spots of it. I haven't seen it totally throughout a season, but also this is a new team. This is a new opportunity. This is something that he has not experienced before, right? He's going to an organization that needs him. He's going to a city that needs him. And so the feeling of it is different. And again, I know what Odell, the receiver, can do. Right, I want to see what Odell, the pass blocker, not the pass blocker, the run game blocker, I want to see what Odell, the leader, can do when he does not have the football in his hands.
But see, here's where I give you the pushback at, is because what receivers have identified is that my value is tied into catching. I need 100 yards, I need 2 touchdowns. Then I'm valuable.
Yeah.
If I catch 3 passes, I get a key block that springs a guy. You don't notice that.
Yep.
Only the guy that's in the meeting room, the coaches notice that.
Yep.
But that's not what the media notices. That's not what the fans notice, especially when Julio went for 10 for $185 and 2 touchdowns. And D-Hop, we haven't seen the leadership from Odell. Everybody keeps telling me, oh, he can be a great leader. Okay, when? When am I going to see Odell be the great leader? Now, I'll give you this about his legacy. Oh, he can change the perception of how he's viewed if he goes there and do what you say
Just go to work.
he could possibly do. Yeah, if he goes in there, leads this team, I don't want to see no slinging, no catch no 2 passes, skip, and he all this and all that, because it's coming. It's in it.
It's blue collar.
It's hard to get that out. It's hard to get that out after 1 year. So I'm anxious to see how this thing, on paper, like Freddie said, that's straight Southern. That's straight some part of Alabama.
Whoop-de hell.
That's some part of Alabama, Mississippi,
start
Georgia.
using that.
That's somewhere one of those areas, Skip. But you got a core group of receivers that can play with anyone. You got a strong running game. You see what you do in the draft. But Skip, they have the makings. Makings don't do anything. You don't win not one game in March. You don't win one game in April. Now, you start that process, you start laying those bricks towards that foundation.
Yeah.
See how it goes in OTAs and your mini camp, and then you're going to have the draft, you have your training camp, and then it starts to come together. You'll have a pretty good idea. Yeah. Can Odell, if he's not the leading receiver every game, can he be content and find a way to influence the game even without the ball in his hands? Because that's what the great ones could do. They pulled the double team, and now Higgins and Jarvis are running scot-free. You can't always get 12 catches a game, and he's going to have to understand that his value is tied to other things other than just catching the football.
Okay?
I would agree.
So, to your first point, I loved what Freddie Kitchens said. Now we got to come together and do this as a football team.
Right.
Freddie Kitchens is in his first head coach. Freddie Kitchens had never even been an offensive coordinator until mid-last season, and he got thrown into that fire. And Baker and the receivers tend to treat him like he's kind of their funny big brother, you know, like older brother, but he's kind of goofy, but they kind of laugh with him. Well, now he's in charge. I think he's in charge. Now he has to say no to somebody because there is only one football. Can the buck stop with him?
Yeah, because it's different. It's different being an OC and a head coach. Because, you can joke with an OC. You can joke with a DC. But all of a sudden, he become the big boss. You can't be kiki joking with him like you could when he was the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. And you have to but you just like, that's Freddie. Freddie was just because remember, Skip, Charles Haley said, I forget who was the D coordinator that became head coach after Coach Walsh stepped down?
Seifert.
George Seifert. He said he could joke with George. George became head coach. He didn't want to be joking with Charles Haley. Charles said he changed. Charles, he had to change. He couldn't let you joke with him and so it ended up ruining a relationship between those two. That's the thing. Can they look at Freddie now as like, okay, he's the head coach. We can't be joking and teasing with him like he's just one of the guys.
Well, let me ask you this question. Is the ownership more on the head coach, on the coaches? Because now you got the pieces, right? Now there are no excuses, right? So does this fall more on the coach's shoulders to create the environment that's such that they understand that this has to be business first with the head coach?
Yeah, we serious now.
He's in a tough spot.
More pressure.
Yeah, it is.
More pressure, right?
It's hard. It's hard. It's like when you let your kid do whatever he wants, and the moment you tell him no, or you try to discipline, then he like, what are you doing? Now you've been letting me do this all this time, and now all of a sudden, it's a lot easier to be tough and to pull back than it is to be easy and then try to toughen up.
So at the league meetings, Freddie Kitchens was asked, what are you going to say to Odell when you first meet him? And he said, I'm going to say, I love you. And yesterday he said, when asked, what was the first thing you said to Odell? He said, I told him I loved him. Okay, so will you love him in September and October? I don't know. No, seriously. Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure all those other coaches, they loved him too. Coach Coughlin and Ben McAdoo and Pat Shermer.
There's so many different coaches and their personalities and the way they coach. And I was thinking about Baker and Lincoln, and they had a lighthearted relationship that was.
But he was like the OC head coach.
Right.
You know, like it's different.
I don't know.
No, that's
You're
true.
right.
That
but
is
I'm
true.
trying to equate what works for Baker and what will work for that team. But they seem to like the guy, but this is the part where it's easy until they have to get on the field and show us something.
Freddie Kitchens is already on the hot seat. Right?
Yeah, already.
Expectations level
this time is ticking already.
That's true.
You know what? Number one killer, Skip. Expectations.
We're going to move to the Rams and their expectations about possibly getting back to the Super Bowl. But did their hopes take a major hit yesterday? We'll discuss what they're up to next.
No mercy.
So the Rams, well, they lost a major contributor from their Super Bowl run. NFL Network reports running back C.J. Anderson will sign with the Lions. He played for 3 teams last year, but once he got to L.A., he had 3 straight 100-yard games, and in the playoffs, he had more rushing yards than Todd Gurley. So Reggie Bush, still with us. Reggie, how much will the Rams miss that guy? We're just watching the highlights. How much will they miss him? Sorry, Skip.
Well, I love what C.J. Anderson brought to this team last year because the one thing that you cannot put a value on is experience and leadership. I don't think you can have enough of that. And I thought that was the biggest difference for the Los Angeles Rams last year. They got lucky with C.J. Anderson. Because he came at a time when they desperately needed somebody to fill in the gaps for Todd Gurley while he was hurt, while he was on the shelf. And so C.J. Anderson brought that. He brought them motivation. I mean, he played with a chip on his shoulder. Every time he touched the football, you saw him stick his foot in the ground and get up the field. And it's amazing what you can do when you get a little bit of space. Right? And so I know he had been cut, by 2 different teams beforehand, but what he brought to the Rams last year, on top of the production that he gave them, again, you can't put a money value on leadership and experience. And Jared Goff has to have play action. He has to have the run game because that's what this offense is built off of. And so by them getting C.J. Anderson, it played right into what they do well, right?
Yep.
Run the football, play action off of that. And so can they find another big body running back to, run the football hard up the middle? Yeah, you can do that because the nature of the running back position has been watered down over time. But the other side, what they will be losing is the leadership and experience, and I just don't know if you can replace that part of it.
Well, what it tells me is that the Rams are pretty comfortable with Todd Gurley's injury.
Yeah.
You keep hearing that he might have some arthritis
That's what I keep hearing.
with the knee.
Are you comfortable with that?
No, I'm not comfortable with it, but they must be. But here's the thing, Skip. Last month, the Lions put an offer on Malcolm Brown, who was Todd Gurley's backup. The Rams matched. He got hurt, so this is why they went out, because they would not have gone out and gotten C.J. had he stayed healthy.
Yep.
So what this tells me that they don't view C.J. as a feature back. They feel like he can come in and spell him. But if you just match the offer, you're paying Todd Gurley all this money. You pay good money to keep Malcolm Brown.
Yep.
It really didn't make sense.
No.
The Lions probably gave him, $2.5 million, I would assume, to go there. That's a lot of money for a guy, and C.J. doesn't play special teams. Normally you have a running back, Skip. He's your third running back. He plays special teams.
Yeah.
C.J. is not a special teams player. So with that being said, I think the Rams feel they're in a good spot with what they have with Todd Gurley and with Malcolm Brown. And today, Skip, he's not a feature back. You're going to use a 2-back, sometimes maybe even 3.
Yeah.
The Patriots use 3-4 in a game occasionally. So I think this is a good move for the Rams. Plus, they got some other issues, Skip. They spending a lot of money, and you don't want to spend we're saying $2-3 million. That seems like a lot of money.
It does.
But for a running back in NFL, that is a lot of money, especially if you can go find one in free agency or get one in the draft for less than $2.5-3 million.
C.J. Anderson saved the Rams season.
He did.
100%.
We had him on the show.
Yeah.
When was it?
About 2 months ago. Right, like 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
Season.
Yeah.
Yep.
To your point, he's a really good guy. He's a good talker. He's
good interview.
He's good. He's smart, and he's been around.
Right.
And he knows how to play the game on and off the field. And they're going to miss that.
Yeah.
Because he stepped in. I don't know what's wrong with Todd's knee. And I like Todd a lot too, but I'm afraid it could be an ongoing issue that he's going to fight the rest of his career. And as you guys know, running backs, as you know, it's just hard to last that long.
Every running back has arthritis in his knees.
Everybody.
Every running
I
back.
know.
Every football player got arthritis in his knees.
So they sign him off the couch after he got cut twice, and he steps right in at Arizona and goes for 167, and then San Francisco 137, and then the nightmare happened to my Dallas Cowboys, who had just stifled Seattle's #1 rushing attack at Jerry World in a playoff game. They just shut it down.
Yeah.
Seattle went nowhere slowly the whole game. And then that happened to my team. And I can tell you, my safeties can really tackle when they're falling on their backs, right? Because they got pancaked. Every one of those, he's pancaking Jeff Heath right
You
left.
ain't really trying to tackle a bowling ball with legs.
Who wants to try that?
It ain't easy.
Exactly.
It ain't easy.
Man, you talk, when he gets running downhill, that's a force.
Oh, yeah.
He got low heels to the ground. And they talk about, I was like 240, 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it looked to me like Sean McVay kind of fell in love with him because they went to New Orleans and he was trying to feature CJ.
Yeah.
And Gurley's over there riding the bike saying, I'm ready.
And that's why we knew something was wrong with Todd Gurley. Now, everybody said Todd Gurley was 100% healthy and it was this yada yada. Running backs are not sitting on a stationary back, especially come NFC Championship game, especially Super Bowls if you're 100% healthy.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm still back to this age-old dilemma of how valuable is a running back? Can you just go get somebody off the couch? Look, New England, I'm not saying that Sony Michel carried them, but he had big games in the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs, he's unbelievable.
I'm looking at his numbers: 129, 113, and 94 in the Super Bowl. That works.
Yes.
You know, that gave him. But Burkhead was the closer. They would put him in late because the kid was a rookie, Sony, and I think Belichick didn't want any fumbles down on the goal line.
I think the thing is system.
Yeah.
Sonny Michel's not working in the Dallas Cowboys offense. You know what I'm saying? You need a bell. They need bell cow, right? So it all depends on the type of system that you're running. The Patriots are a 2-3 back system. They have one guy to run the ball. When you're backed up, they have another guy to run the ball in the middle of the field, another guy to run the ball at the goal line, somebody to catch the ball out of the backfield. They have 4 or 5 different guys to do different things. The Cowboys and most teams, power these great backs, Zeke, Le'Veon Bell, they do all of it. And that's what you need in that system. But, yeah, you can find a – Skip, look, I'm a prime example of this. I played with Terrell Davis for 4 years, and we've had backs to come along, and everybody talk about the system. And guys was getting 1,400 yards. But they wasn't getting 1,700 taking us to the Super Bowl.
No, they wasn't.
They weren't winning MVPs. There's a difference between, you can get a guy that go – who was Darren McFadden. He ran for 1,000 yards behind that offensive line. Zeke comes in and gets 1,600.
Okay.
You see the difference?
do.
But the system y'all had in Denver
it
was fire. To say the least. Because y'all had like 6 or 7 running backs. Landis Gary.
Clem Porter.
They all came through rushing for 1,000 yards. I always wanted to play in that system. That system was, you talking about running backs coming to a good system? Man, they had it.
That's what you wanted?
That's what you wanted to be.
Would John Elway have won a Super Bowl without TD?
No.
Nope.
No.
Would not have.
No. I mean, nobody gonna tell you. Mike will tell you that. Everybody tell you. John will tell you that. We needed that. I mean, like I said, we had other guys come in. Landis Gary got 1,200, and Mike Anderson rushed for 1,400, and Porter's had back-to-back 1,500. But they weren't TD. TD was a different animal. And come playoff time, the dude averaged 142 a game. Can you imagine the playoff when they know we're gonna run the ball? Stop it.
Okay, but in today's NFL, I still say if you can't throw it, you can't win. And you say Dak can't throw it, and he throws it just well enough to win division.
But what
because they got Zeke behind him. Without Zeke behind him,
that guy got to
not carrying that football.
There's a reason what Stephen Jones said. What did Stephen Jones say this offseason, Skip? What was their number one priority?
Dak.
No, that ain't what he said.
I was like, wait, did I miss that?
I
don't think that was it. That was your priority.
No, he said,
I think he said it was DeMarcus Lawrence.
No.
Huh? I don't think he said that.
When that guy doing this right here, Skip, when he get up do this and do that right, things going good for y'all. But I ain't see a whole lot of that against the Rams.
You know what? There's some days when Dak Prescott's the best running back on the Dallas Cowboys.
Am
I right about that?
No.
Who makes the big runs? Who makes the goal line
He'll
runs?
splash some in there. He'll splash some important runs in there. And
clutch playmaking
but
runs.
Consistently throughout the game? No.
You need Zeke.
Huh?
You need Zeke.
I just hope he lasts more than another couple of years because he tries to run through brick walls every play.
Does.
I've never seen anything like
Skip,
it.
you run him, you give him the ball. What you trying to win games, right?
Yep.
Okay then.
4 wins the game. 21 goes along for the ride. I'm sorry, in the end, that is the truth.
That is not the truth.
It is the truth.
That is not
it
the
just
truth.
Is.
I feel like that was a record for longest time we haven't mentioned the Cowboys in a show, but we had to get them. We had to get a Dak.
You had to bash me with those lowlights.
What?
C.J. Anderson
Sorry.
running over Jeff Heath.
Bringing back some nightmares.
Yeah.
Where was the Wolf Hunter?
Jeff Heath ain't want no part of it.
He should
ain't want no part of
He should have
CJ.
never been able to get to Jeff Heath.
Hey.
Where's the Wolf Hunter?
You realize what George Iloka is going to do to C.J. Anderson next year?
Nothing.
He'll knock him on his butt.
No.
Who? You gonna knock
George
C.J.
Iloka.
Anderson on his butt?
Yeah.
No, not even close.
Okay, where was Jalen Smith and the Wolf Hunter? Where were they?
I don't know. That's
We don't know.
I don't know.
He should have never been able to
don't
get
know.
back to Jeff Heath.
Okay.
You got your running back running against the safety.
I don't know.
You're doing your job.
It happened all
Y'all doing
night
well.
long.
That one's my fault for bringing it up. Thank you for being here, Reggie. Always good to have you. Should the Ravens be upset by RG3's latest comments? We'll tell you what he said next.
Yep.
No mercy.
Well, Robert Griffin III is not satisfied with being on the bench. He was asked by TMZ Sports if he was content with being the backup and said, quote, "Anybody that signs in the league is never content being a backup. By no means am I content." RG3 is behind Lamar Jackson on the depth chart and hasn't started a game since 2016. So, Shannon, will the Ravens be okay with RG3 saying this?
Yes, you want someone that's motivated. You know
Okay.
he's going to put the time in to, if his number is called, to be prepared. Skip, I would be really concerned if a guy was a backup quarterback at the age of 29 and he was content with that. Brian Hoyer is one thing. Josh McCown is one thing. The guy is 29. He's been a starter. He's enjoyed success. And considering Lamar Jackson's running style, guess what, Skip Bayless? There's a good chance RG3 is going to get that very chance to start in Baltimore.
Interesting.
That's just the way it is. Running quarterbacks normally do not run the entire season. Bad things normally happen. Now, Cam is the outlier, is the anomaly, a guy that run. He didn't run as much last year as he has in the past. But RG3 knows running quarterbacks, Marcus Mariota. So I have no problem with him saying this. I'm sure the Ravens do not have a problem. They're going to give Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is firmly entrenched as the starting quarterback. But we know, Skip, with that style of play, you take a lot of hits.
I don't think the Ravens are going to love this because it's clear-cut to me. I mean, don't you think it's sadly delusional that RG3 actually thinks he can go compete and win the job in camp?
No, he's not going to win the job.
Okay, well, that's what he's saying. I'm going to go compete and win the job. Right?
No, he's not.
Okay, well, I agree with you.
No.
There's no way.
I thought I thought he was saying he wants to be a starter, knowing that opportunity, he's not going to training camp to compete for no job. They're bringing you into camp to be the backup for the job. And if something happens to Lamar.
Story.
Yeah.
Right. Because I hate to admit this, but I think Brian Hoyer and Josh McCown have had better careers than RG3
Yeah.
had.
They've definitely
Because they've had success,
Right.
man.
RG3 has success. That was your guy.
Loved him. Loved him before that draft. I said he'll be better than Andrew Luck.
He was
And
for a
he
year.
backed me up. He was Offensive Rookie of the Year. He took that team from worst to first. They won the division.
Yep, won 6 straight games.
Yeah. He went 9-6 as starter. He put on a show of shows at Jerry World on Thanksgiving. He went 19-27 for 304 and 4 touchdowns against Jerry's Cowboys on the biggest stage in the sport, that big late day.
That was a good game. I liked that. I watched it.
Yeah, 38-31 Washington. And you know the rest of the story. He got all the way to 14-0 up on Seattle in a playoff game at home, and the worst happened.
Yep.
And he never quite recovered. He never even remotely recovered.
Never got close.
That was 2012.
Right.
And since then, he's just been this shell of himself. Not much. He went 3-10 in 2013, 2-5 in 2014. Didn't even play in 2015.
Well, Skip,
and you know the rest.
The
of the
thing
story.
was, I thought earlier in his career, Skip, he focused on his brand as opposed to focusing on the brand of football that he needed to play.
Yep.
He's rehabbing, but he's shooting a documentary about his rehab.
He was.
And still, he's getting married. He's going to Kentucky Derby. Bruh, you get an opportunity to do all those things. The most important thing you forget, sometimes guys forget, Skip, the things that allows them to do all these things is the very thing that you're neglecting, which is football. So I just thought he should have paid a little more attention to that as opposed to trying to shoot a documentary and then being this brand. Oh, that's fine and good. And then he wouldn't listen. He and his parents, they had this idea of who and what he was, and nobody could tell them otherwise.
They went into Mike Shanahan and said, we view him as Peyton Manning. We want him stationary in the pocket.
Yep, he will not be running.
And Mike's like, but that's what helped make him who he was last year.
And there's a process. You just don't become that overnight.
Yep.
Peyton Manning didn't become Peyton Manning overnight. But Peyton Manning in high school did nothing else but throw the ball from the pocket. He wasn't a wishbone or a veer or a spread. He threw the ball from the pocket. He took a lot of his snaps from under center. That's what he did at Tennessee. Okay? What did RG3? Spread, Baylor, spread, running around, making plays. Now you're going to make him conventional. You take away, Superman cannot be Superman without his cape. Batman is not Batman without his tool belt. And so you wanted to take things that made him great and you handicapped him.
Robert lost me more than a year ago when he posted that video of him playing against a bunch of white guys at the gym playing basketball. Like, I'm ready, NFL. I'm available. And I was surprised the Ravens even gave him a shot.
Skip, Jewish guys got game. You act like they can't hoop.
Well, I didn't say they were Jewish guys. They're just white guys. I don't know what they were.
I remember
were
that
hooping.
video, though.
How you know one of them ain't dunk on RG3?
Maybe. Huh?
Yeah, that rubbed you the wrong way.
Sorry, lost
Well, it's
ya.
just that's your promotional video for I'm ready.
Yeah,
NFL.
maybe not the
Hey,
best.
RG3, Skip got like 4 or 5 basketballs in his car. Come out here to LA and put something on
That
it.
would be
I would be
interesting.
putting something on again.
We gotta tell you guys what Sean McVay did to Cliff Kingsbury. He pulled an interesting prank on the guy. We'll explain next.
No mercy.
Hey, welcome back. The Herd is coming up next right here on FS1. Doug Gottlieb is in for Colin today. Hey, Doug, how you doing? What's on the show today?
Good morning to you, Jenny. Well, we're going to start with the Cleveland Browns, who introduced Odell Beckham Jr., along with 3 teammates who we already knew were members of the Browns. And we're going to compare the very different social experiments going on in Pittsburgh and in Cleveland, and we'll see what the results are. That's upcoming at the top of the hour.
All right, Doug, thanks. Time for our final topic of the day. Sean McVay told Adam Schefter that he pranked his friend and new head coach, Cliff Kingsbury. McVay was at dinner with Kingsbury and Patrick Mahomes. He then pretended he got a text from Roger Goodell saying that this was tampering to be with another team's quarterback, and both McVay and Kingsbury would lose draft picks over it. McVay said, "I showed Cliff the text. He looked like he saw a ghost." So, Shannon, is this funny or not funny to you?
Well, that's a decent prank. And Skip, you know the thing is now is that can you imagine Coach Noel and Coach Landry pranking each other?
Nope.
Coach Lombardi and Coach Weebanks pranking each other?
Nope.
But this is a different era now, Skip. Guys are friendly now. They have dinner. They go out. The days of what you thought, what you covered in the beginning, those are a thing of the past, even for the players, Skip Bayless. So I need you to embrace this. I need you to jump on with both feet and say, you know what, guys? I'm all aboard now.
I am not on board. This was unfunny. And I do know for a fact these two guys are very close. They're close to brother close.
Right.
So I'll give them that much. But Cliff Kingsbury is already on a hot seat in Arizona. He's got plenty of problems already, not to mention this one.
Why are you on a hot seat?
This borders on, because it's just a hard job. He got thrown into a fire. He's lucky, you know, like I don't even
They
know how
called
I got
him.
the
He
job.
didn't come
I know,
recruit. He
I
didn't
got
come
it.
interview for the job. Y'all called
Yeah.
him.
Well, that's why the world is waiting to say, you know, it was what dance for us, Cliff. You know, what do you got? Well, in this case, he feels like this is cruel, where he thinks he's going to get fined and lose a draft pick over this. It's not funny. It's just a low blow. That's not how friends treat friends.
I just want you to know I'm plotting something.
Yeah, I'm worried.
I'm just letting you know I'm
Don't
plotting
give him
something.
ideas.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.